Live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Plat Chat VALORANT episode 245. We've got ourselves a sleepy little Brennan Hook over here in the corner who's eating his breakfast. Poor little guy. He's only slept for 10 hours last night. He hasn't got anywhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. Bro's word per minute is like 2. Did he just said well and then he disappeared. He just disappeared. All right, well, we've also got Shayo and TMV, I guess, who are going to have to carry the show without Brent because he ate one bite of his breakfast and then died, I guess. That's the weirdest opening I've ever seen to the show.
I thought that was you, Kurt.
I thought that was a Kurt reaction image that he played.
It was not me. That's Anouk. You don't know who Anouk is?
No.
All right.
Chestnuts roasting by the open fire.
It's very festive here today. It's very festive. Oh, there we go. Bren's back.
I've always been here.
Oh, you just turned off your camera.
No, I put up a nuke.
Oh, I see.
The nuke is my shield.
I'm so confused. When you, the audio listeners are having the worst experience of all time.
Yeah, we just went silent for 15 seconds, waiting for Brent to speak.
Oh God, I think we're getting broken, man. I think we're getting broken by the off season. I'm in pieces. Oh, we played RV there yet. I know TMV's been wanting to play this game as well. Ridiculous game. But then we tried to play some. We couldn't agree what game to play again last night. Afterwards, Mimi really wanted to play Rainbow Six. Afterwards, I think she's been playing a lot of it recently. I think she might have a gig like casting it or being a host or something coming up. And so she's been like getting back into the grind. And so she was trying to persuade us to play that. In the end, we settled on Counterstrike because, you know, you're Valorant players and you want to change. You go to Counterstrike.
No.
And my God, there were some heinous moments. Man.
No, this is one of the best clips of all time.
You go from watching the Budapest Major to this.
You didn't watch it from the beginning where he shot me in the back of the head right before this.
Yeah, but I got the entry.
Do you want
on Brent?
He literally shot me in the back of the head.
I swear to God.
No, I swear to
Just
God.
watch,
watch. Just take this in.
I smoked the cross.
For that shit. We don't need. I'm gonna start smoke up completely. One more side. Bro, what are these fucking amalgamations?
Oh, that was too good.
Dude,
That's too
in
good.
what world does that bounce? How,
That's
bro?
too
You're
fucking
jumping and you're
Actual
what was he
Valorant
throwing it
player
left-handed?
spotted. Valorant player spotted.
It's not on my iPad, guys. What do I do? The circle. I gotta throw the util. Oh no! It's crazy.
Dude, it bounces off the telephone sign perfectly, and then I back up into it. I notice, and I'm like, "Oh no, catch it!"
This is where you play that from that last Plat Chat shorts. The fucking.
I don't think you could recreate that if you tried.
No, I know, bro. It was nightmare footage. It genuinely was. All right, if you want to focus on Valorant instead, we've got a full Valorant podcast coming up for you where we're going to be discussing some of the people that haven't been signed in the offseason yet. We're going to be pitching them for you. We're going to be talking about some of the recent roster moves that have been officially announced. We're going to be talking about Project Blender as well. But to start, our members are what keeps the ship going. And every week, our members get a chance to ask a question. However, this time, our members... I mean, this is from a couple of weeks ago, actually. But I was finding the right time to bring it up. Sometimes our members don't necessarily ask a question. Sometimes they just, like, humble brag. And they just post a bunch of... like, stats work or whatever that they've been doing. And then they frame it as, which team do you think was actually the best in the world at the maps? So this is what happened here. TenTen created essentially like an elo system of the greatest teams at certain maps. So if you think back, I'll run you through the graphics because they can be a little bit confusing originally. But the idea is, you know, like how EG were unbeatable on Fracture in 2023. And you could think of like 5-10 other examples of maps like that, where a team just dominates a certain map in a certain year. And so TenTen and actually Toxic, who's put it together into more of a like PDF format as well, created this elo system where you could visualize how good teams were during a certain year at a certain map. And it's really cool, dude. It's really cool. If you're interested, it's in our members Discord. You can download this PDF report that Toxic has created from TenTen's data that he
Does it
pulled.
explain what Icebox is?
Do you want to scroll down to Icebox? Because it'll tell you who's the best at Icebox.
Well, I want to know the coordinates and where it's based.
It's in the appendix if you go all the way down. No, it's not going to tell you that though. Where is it based?
I don't know. I
Russia,
didn't read
no?
the
Russia.
100-page
Something
AI
island,
generated
Russia.
report.
Russia?
Yeah,
That's what I was referencing, but this guy didn't get it, so I don't think he's a true Valorant fan.
If you take a look at some of these,
Just
I did get
swiftly
it.
move
Bro,
on.
I did
past
get
that.
it.
Swift
I am-
move on.
He didn't get it.
Yeah, I
Didn't
didn't
get the joke.
get it. I didn't get it. I
Didn't
didn't
get it.
understand it. If you look at if you look at Breeze, which is coming back in, for example, right?
Breeze is coming back in.
Oh, bro, missed that completely. Rob Moore leaked it on the
Rob
Sentinels.
Moore leaked it, yeah.
On the,
And then a
in the
Riot dev
Sentinels forum.
said it as well.
This is
It's
Brent's
going
like,
back.
Bro, what the fuck are they doing over there?
Brand, the dev said it's coming back with changes.
It's not good enough.
We woke him up.
man.
We woke him up.
Alice's day has just been ruined.
You
behind
actually
him
you
as well.
can't polish a shit that much. Like it won't come out shining.
I think it's better than Icebox.
Well,
I don't know.
Are you comparing two shits?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Like the
Okay, well, anyway, if you look at Breeze, it hadn't been out for very long across this data set. And so, I mean, this is looking at all of the teams from 2024, I believe, right? So this is...
I don't know how to process this information, Josh.
Okay, so I'll show you then. I'll show you.
Like I've looked at this so many times, just like hard to process.
All right, well, if you
wanna
scroll to the...
This is gonna be the next hour of the stream, so if you're a VOD watcher, just skip forward an hour. All right.
Kurt's
continue,
unwilling to
Josh.
learn. That's the problem.
Continue.
If you look at the 2025 one, I'll show you what it means. The line, the bigger, the higher the line is, the better the team was at that map. So this is, yeah, keep scrolling because then I can tell what's going on. If you look at this one's 2023, right? So in 2023, the green line is Fnatic's Lotus, which was essentially like nobody beat them on it. Line just go up, and then somebody beat them at the very end, but no one could stop them the entire time.
learning.
And then you've got the loud split at the bottom, which they played for a large amount of time, but this blue line, they played for a large amount of time, but they win, they lose, they win, they lose. It's not as successful, it's not as dominant, right?
Does that
So-
also tell you that people in that year weren't as great at split?
Potentially,
taking notes
for
taking
sure.
notes.
Because like Leviathan in the year that they ended up getting third at Champs was like dominant on Icebox. That was like their map. So anyway, you can go through all of this kind of shit on your own if you want. One of the ones that's really interesting right now is Corrode for NRG. Is just like a direct line that goes straight up because they just don't lose on the map. But it's a cool system if you wanted to go and take a look at it in your own time to figure out like who the most dominant teams of all time actually were on certain maps, which I think is always fairly interesting, to be honest, but we're not going to know what the hell is coming up in 2026. It doesn't provide any predictive power, I don't think. So
well, is it also like international based, or do your regional games apply as well?
it's both, but they weighted the international games 3x the regional games. But also when they changed it, it didn't really do too much because at the end of the day, if you win, you win.
True.
Yeah,
Well-
there you go. So cool ass shit, very nerdy shit, but cool ass shit from our members. So appreciate that.
I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm always one for spreadsheets. I'm assuming that they had a few spreadsheets involved in that, in the making of it. So,
How many
You
do
know-
you think? Like how many spreadsheets? Give me a number.
like one with like some sheets in it.
I mean tabs.
Yeah, tabs, whatever it's called. Probably had a few.
Did you watch the Microsoft Excel World Championship?
No.
It just concluded. It was like 10
No.
days ago.
And I also didn't watch Project Blender, other than the grand finals.
Okay,
Are we
good.
talking
good,
about Project
good.
Blender?
No, we're talking about the Excel World Championship. Yeah, we're talking about
Oh, good.
spreadsheets.
Good.
Because I knew that's what you wanted to talk
Excellent.
about.
Excellent. No. It's good. It's good.
All right, here's something that Bren will be able to talk about.
That's not true. He doesn't know that.
Casting Valorant.
This might be the worst podcast of all time.
We've been sabotaged earlier.
Why are you talking about gas and Valorant for?
Because Doug retired. It's an important pice of news.
Oh, yeah. Well, now I look like a piece of shit.
Yeah, why the fuck are you bringing on this guy?
Well, now I look like a piece of shit. I was thinking, what news is it? Where's he going with this?
Yeah, Doug is officially
No.
retired. Doug posted on his Twitter that he's officially hanging up the microphone for 2026 and I mean presumably beyond. But yeah, very similar to what Barla ended up doing a year back. And probably some others as well that I've I mean, the most recent ones, the most notable ones that I can think of though, being Doug and Barla, which yeah, it's unfortunate to lose people that have been around in the game for so long. You build up all of this like skill and knowledge and a portfolio, and then back to, well, I mean, Barla's working in his former job of electrical engineering, and Doug, I'm not sure exactly what he's planning, but presumably something more. I mean, I'm gonna say more productive for society because our jobs are not real, but yeah.
Yeah. This is just a sad state of affairs, I think, because I don't know. Doug was I would see him come into the office, I would see him work really hard on his craft, and I would see it show in his work too. And I don't know, just that's gonna be a significant loss, I think, moving into next year. Just having people that are quite driven in that way, willing to improve the craft to that degree that he did as well, because he was really working on it, which you could tell. Because he improved dramatically over like the 5 years as well that he was involved in Valorant casting. But it's more of just a reflection on how, what's the word, tenable, how agreeable it is with the lifestyle of like that. You know, he's I don't want to go too much into his personal life, but he's got a family to support and a lot of traveling involved in esports casting too. And it's like, well, is the scene in a place where you can make it sustainable for people to live a normal life like that? Or is it only going to be attracting people in their 20s who have nothing better to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, will it ever actually move into a place where it's sustainable and actually agrees with that lifestyle that every you know, that a lot of other people, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of nice things about esports casting. You get to travel the world, get to do a job that a lot of people would kill for. But, you know, there's a lot of downsides to it as well, which it comes down to the traveling where you're never actually at home in your own routine. And if you've got a family too, they have to also put up with that. It's a big ask of an individual.
If you look at me and Brent, also, it ages you 3 times as quickly too.
It really does. Yeah, exactly. It does. It's a stressful industry. It's a stressful job too, because you get the lack of security involved with it too. While you have a family at home, it's unagreeable. Essentially, it doesn't mix at all. So I don't know. I feel for Doug in his situation, whatever he went through, honestly, because every single year you go for negotiations, it's just a very stressful period of time. As casting talent, as freelancers, you don't really have too much of a platform to stand on to push back when, I don't know, if your employer doesn't think you were as valuable that year in their eyes, even though you may think that you're quite valuable. Just adds a lot of stress onto the year. So I feel for him. I really do.
Yeah.
I think particularly. Oh, sorry. I think particularly for Doug as well. Like he got so unlucky, right? Like Bala wanted to step back, as you say, Brent, for his family. So that he spent a lot of time with Bala, casting with Bala. Now that's gone. Then he finds a new partner, and they're starting to build some chemistry with Baby Bay. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go play for G2."
I've already spoke a ton, but that is a big deal. It's a huge deal, in fact, with casting, because casting is, a lot of people think you can plug and play individuals, but to be honest, every casting to you becomes more than the sum of their parts after enough time. If I'm working with a random person, say I'm working with Shia randomly one day, the bar of which we can set a cast at is going to be up to a certain level based off how long we've both been doing it for. But compared to me and Josh together, you get way more out of us in terms of our chemistry that we've got with each other. And so the entire time, if you don't have a consistent partner, you're never actually going to be able to reach the peaks that you think you can, because you're always more than the sum of your parts with casting, in my opinion. I think if you mix and match a lot with casting pairs, you're nerfing yourself a little bit, but it's been rough for him, just to add on to that point, because it's a really important one. People might not realize how big it is, but
at the same time, he can now add to his portfolio that his casting partners have gone from being unemployed to tournament winners. So, like, if you cast with Doug, there is a chance that you will go from, being washed to winning tournaments again. So, in theory, people should have been jumping to cast alongside Doug.
Especially you, given by that clip.
My days of winning tournaments again are way behind me. Way behind.
Yeah, they never existed.
Hold on. You don't know about 2014, 15, brother. I was winning the most prestigious I series tournaments in the winter when no one attended.
There's a lot of doom and gloom about it too, but like for people who are like, it's not like don't get into casting by any means. Like it's still something I think if you are in your 20s, if you do have a chance to jump for it and strive for it, you can see a lot of like the negatives when people start to retire on like what could have been, what happened. But like Doug has like 2 really good pieces of advice in his tweet, which are like know your worth and fight for your worth. And like if you're starting off as well, and then also be good to those around you, resist the urge to step on people in your own journey. It's genuinely not the only way. And I feel like we see it a lot behind the scenes, in front of the scenes as well sometimes, whether it's like even player related, but mostly also talent related. There's better ways to go about things where everybody can be uplifted. Like not sure what it was behind the scenes that, you know, the amalgamation of everything that led to this decision, but being kinder and also knowing your worth are like 2 things that helps everyone in a sense of when you're jumping into like a job like this. And at the same time, like being at work and being uplifting 24/7, like having a good broadcast with everybody that wants to be there is a dope thing, I think. And if that's the message that he's leaving out on, I feel like that's important to share as well if you're trying to get into things, right? Like,
yeah, it was a really good message. It was a really good tweet to put out there into the world, I think. Yeah, it was very good. And hopefully, I mean, he said that he wants to stay within esports and games and stuff. So I don't know exactly what he's looking to do, but he's saying like, you know, in theory, he could be staying within the space. So that'd be cool to see. Let's talk about some of the other kind of news floating around too, which was that Aspas has had to be undergoing some like what sounds like pretty major surgery, to be honest. He was saying that he had a benign tumor on or around his heart, and so they've had to operate. Like it was benign, it wasn't cancerous, but at the same time, you know, it's still something growing in there that you don't really want to be applying pressure to your heart, I would imagine. And so they had to do a partial removal now and then a complete removal later on. The situation, he said, is safe and under control. And then in a few months, he'll have another surgery to complete the treatment. So that sounds, I mean, in terms of his life, extremely disruptive to what he would like to be focused on, which I'm sure is, as it has been for years, like becoming the greatest player that he possibly can and fulfilling the goals of his career, but also just scary to deal with something that intense when it comes to your health.
Yeah. I think, honestly, firstly, I mean, I hope that he recovers really quickly, and I hope that it doesn't turn into anything else. I mean, it sounds like they've already got on top of it, with it being benign, but I mean, it would be a crazy loss for anything to go wrong at all with it. So I really do wish him the best in that regard. But also, how much fucking aura do you command that you, as an individual, you're out for whatever reason for a month with the team, and your team's like, there's no point scrimming with our aspas. That is fucking aura. Like that is just straight up aura. Like the team's just like, actually, we're all going to take a break at the same time. Like it's just, there is no player that can replace you that would make it worthwhile scrimming in the meantime. So they all just took a break from it. And I think
that aspect of it is kind of strange as well, though.
You think it's
because
strange?
it's going to put
aura.
I think it's aura, Josh.
It's going to put them a long way behind the rest of the teams.
Yeah, it is.
Like a long way behind.
So can we revisit the tier list and knock MIBR down?
I mean, they should still catch up, though. They've still got the talent to be able to catch up, I think.
Yeah.
But it does mean that, especially with him saying that he's going to need more surgery in a couple of months, like that's going to be another piece of disruption.
Where's GIANTX? They just won the Mickey Mouse. Let's put them up on one.
GIANTX are already
in B,
in a pretty good spot.
Put
Top
them
of the
up
B
in
tier.
A. Yeah, I think A.
All right.
There we go. Sure.
Listen, you're going to want to move Pacific up later.
That's harsh on, wait, T1 won that other Mickey Mouse, the soup one.
True, where it's T1.
Vit lost. So you got to take Vit down. You got to take Vit down 1. Vitality down 1.
Oh,
every time you win a tournament, you go up. Every time you lose a tournament,
Wait, G2 won Red Bull. G2 won Red Bull Homeground.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
NRG lost Red Bull.
NRG lost. Uh-oh.
PRX lost Patman. PRX lost Patman.
Oh, true.
Oh. Yeah, PaperX did lose
Patman. Swap PaperX and Global because they swapped Patman.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yep. And then...
Good to get this fixed after all this time.
Yeah, no, this looks good.
Esports Athlete of the Year, the Game Awards, so Gen.G goes up, no?
Don't know about that one. Don't know about that one.
Yeah, isn't it crazy though how like publishers pay for the awards at the Game Awards behind the scenes? Or was I not supposed to reveal that?
That was the next episode. We had a whole sponsored bit about that.
Oh my bad.
Remember the whole investigation bureau?
Yeah, the
we created for
investigative
Game
journalism
Awards?
episode,
Yeah.
which is next. Oh my bad.
Yeah.
You're supposed to
I
be
heard that
darkened
the
out.
Esports Emmys as well get given to anyone.
They do.
Yeah, literally.
They do. All right, hey, listen, I don't have my water with me, but I can attest. They get given out to fucking anyone who shows up. Anyone who shows up on the day.
Are you at all concerned about MIBR given this?
This is a buff. This is a buff for two reasons. First of all, MIBR play better from behind, and we know this. All sorts of behinds.
That's true.
Second of all, and that's not even.
What?
That's just a funny haha.
What?
That's just a funny haha. The real thing is that always in December, January, there's some adjustment patch. Oh, here's Tejo with a minor buff on his stun. Here's this game switching thing we were adjusting from 11.08. They skip all the practice on the useless patch. Play the real patch. We're chilling. Play closer to the real patch. We're fine.
True.
We're fine with
The
it.
team that does well at the beginning of the year never does well at the end of the year.
That's
And
not
also,
true.
third
Literally
last
not
thing,
true.
why scrim against teams when they're weak? Why scrim against teams when they're trying to figure it out? Who wants
Yeah.
to be the initial? Are you a good IGL? Do we want to lurk? Give me in December, January. Give me the real teams. Power scrims is what they're called. I'm pretty sure. And in esports, right? Give me the power scrims.
Yeah. It's like
Right.
EV
Also, yeah,
training
they-
in Pokemon.
yeah.
You're only doing it to getting the most effective Pokemon.
Yeah.
Killing
The
over and over again.
the idea of EV training is
scrimming.
so funny. The idea that you might play against
We
a
need to
tier
up our
5,
speed.
a tier
for
5
Paper
team,
X.
a tier 5 team that happens to play quickly, and you get speed EVs off that. You're just 13-0ing them over and over again to get speed
That's what
EVs.
academies like. That's why you have an academy team, right? You set the specific comps. EV
Yep.
training is double
I mean,
duelist.
I
Playing
guess.
against four duelists today, guys.
I guess. Yeah. You're getting sparks like Uma Musume. You're just completing them in order to get a spark popping. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's
You
move on
didn't
to a
agree with that
different team.
point?
No, which point? I didn't agree with any of the points being made,
give
to be
you
honest.
Look, they know a Yoru nerf is coming, so why practice Yoru? Everyone else is fucking wasting their time. Yoru's gonna get nerfed, and they're
When
gonna be
is
the only
Yoru
team
being
who knows
nerfed?
what they're doing. What?
When's Europe being there?
I don't know. I'm
He's
just predicting.
guessing. Bro is literally
Oh, you
guessing.
actually don't know if Europe's
No,
being nerfed or
guessing.
not.
No, he's literally guessing.
He kind of looks like Yoru right now. He's like full blue.
The
The
Cope from this segment could be distilled and drunk as a serum. It's
Hey,
crazy.
well, you're the host. Move us on.
I am. The crew have got an academy team, TMV. It's time to rejoice. You have been talking, we even made a short about it. You have been popping off about the lack of academy teams across all sorts of different areas. Team Liquid Academy just did super well over in EMEA and Project Blender. And now Crew have got an academy team called KRU Spark. Will they actually be able to scrim against them? I'm not sure because I'm not 100% what the ping is even going to be like,
Yeah.
so I don't know whether this is effective practice. But they have one and they're developing the LATAM talent rather than just relying on, you know, Sadak and Les and that kind of stuff in their tier 1 team.
Am I crazy to think like we've just seen Lev, who it seems like have run a very successful academy, right? In terms of,
Yeah.
you know, now a lot of their players who were on their academy team are now, you know, in tier 1. I don't really why like putting Nags on this team. I think is a little strange. No,
That's the
Because
strangest thing
he's-
for me. Yeah.
You mean because he's like a known
because it's like a
quantity
known
that's-
quantity who's been around for a long time. Like you know who Nags is. Whereas I feel like surely just pick up some random ranked guy who like might be very good, who might
What
be
if they're going
terrible
with
as well.
What are they going the Pacific
Nothing
route, the
against
BBL Pacific route, to like just have this team actually slated up to win or promote somewhere and then sell the roster type thing,
Yeah.
or whatever happened the other way? Because I did a bit of research on this team, just look at like, you know, the core of who's there and whatnot. Like the Oxen core they picked up, which was like a challengers team that came fourth, I believe, in their split, was Gen.G, and then Matt, and no, we can go back to the roster real quick. I believe it's Gen.G, PHC, and MTA. And Gen.G actually, ironically, plays a bit like Gen.G Fishy West Side, where like I think his strongest agent is Cypher. Like he looks really good at just holding things when like the entire Armada and Air Force is coming to him on a site. And then if you switch, he flexes a little bit to like Viper and other things. And his KDAs, at least I didn't get to watch those games specifically, didn't look as good. The team was getting a bit more steam rolled over. I think a Nico machine from Oxen actually is a really vital part as to how this team operates. So taking these three out, leaving their IGL behind, and then putting Gen.G in as the new IGL is interesting because you have a Sentinel like primary player, and you have Nags coming in playing Sentinel as well primarily. what is this guy gonna do? Like MTA already plays flex really well, so it's like you have question marks there. Then you have TK Zine actually, where if you watch the Tixinia Invitational in the summer, he was one of like the standout players against like the bigger like tier 1 teams that had like some sort of a voice. Like of course, I think it was Team 7 he was playing on, got like completely steamed over and rolled over. But it was like,
Valorant are you watching?
Dude, I got asked to be on Plat Chat. I'm trying to tap in, you know what I'm saying? Like
You're referencing tournaments, the tier 2 tournaments in the summer. What are we doing?
yeah, I gotta do something, man. You guys are doing all the tier 1 stuff. Like
TMV is like you're making me look like a scrub. Stop it. Stop
Tier
it.
1 in the summer.
yeah, we all watched it. We had an episode about the Tixinia Invitational.
We did. We genuinely did. Yes.
Yeah, what
But-
are you doing, man?
But also
Project
year
blenders
ago,
into
though, right?
one.
Yeah, it was a long time back. It was a long time back. But I mean, there was a different one. There was a different Toshinia Invitational this year as well.
We didn't
But
cover that
anyway,
one.
no,
That's
we
what
didn't
I'm
cover that one.
referencing.
But yeah, that was the one with all the tier 2 teams. But
And some tier 1
TMV,
teams.
is this going to make a difference? Is this the academy team that you're looking for?
I don't know, because I don't know how they're going to use them. I'm interested in EG though. EG are the one that interests me because if EG are good this year, then
Where's EG
everyone
coming from,
can
man?
just
Because
EG
they have an
signed a
academy
10-man
team.
roster, and we know that EG, like in 2023 they used that to great success. So if EG are like if EG overperform this year and are really good, everyone can go fuck off.
Why?
Well, because it's just like what? Well, then because then Potter knows what she's doing, and like this was available for everyone else to be doing. Like in 2023, EG, no one thought would be good, and I feel like everyone just put it down to they got Demon 1 and that's why they were good. But like all of the other players on EG, well, I guess apart from Ethan now as well, like like all of the other players on EG, maybe aside from Ethan, like weren't like hyped up prospects that ended up winning champs.
Yeah.
And they've gone on to have mixed levels of careers afterwards, let's say. So if they can do it again,
I would say
they've all been
successful.
almost
all
all of them
been
have been
pretty good, like-
really good. Com made another top 3. Jorg has joined G2 and been really good. Ethan's won champs again. It's only really Demon 1 and Boostio that haven't.
Yeah.
Booster kind of retired, so like
yeah,
is
that's
he even
2
in the
out of 3.
conversation?
That's
And
2
then
out of 3, and like before Ethan
one
won
has an
champs, he was
excuse
a
and then-
3 out of 5.
one has an excuse, and Demon 1's just disrespected by the entire scene. So it's like, what to do? He deserves to be there still. It's just like a roster happen chance. Like if he was in a roster, I guaranteed it'd also be top 4. The fuck?
Okay.
But apart from Ethan, have any of them reached the heights that they were?
So you're
EG?
ignoring-
Yes, Jog is like it could have been duels of the year. Like ever since he
I don't
left
think
EG,
so.
he's been pop.
I think he was better on EG.
But also, that's a ridiculous bar to hold that you have to be duelist of the year in order to be like
Guys,
good.
if you don't win champ, so basically what you're saying is like your statement makes no sense. You have to just have the highest accolade or you're shit.
no, I just think Jogamo was better on EG than he has been on GG.
This could be some British form of rage bait. I'm trying to.
This isn't rage bait. That's my belief.
No, I agree that he was better on EG.
I
I
think
think
it's
it's
still
better
be
on
rage
EG.
baiting.
That's so stat like check heavy of like, oh, because he won a champs, he was good, and after that,
No.
it was worse.
But the point of TMV's comment, though, is that the academy team probably had a lot to do with their success. No, that was the core of what you were talking about anyway. That's the hypothesis, is that the
The
academy
hypothesis
team
is
and that
that
practice
yes,
system
and that
was
people have
effective.
had that available to them. We saw that it worked.
But also,
Yeah.
they're probably not going to do that with Crew Academy anyway, because
Yes.
they're playing with like 50 ping or more in order
Yeah.
to scrim against them. And
Yeah.
Bren's handing me 1 pound of asparagus. What is this? A Christmas
is that?
tree?
This is
You
the
got-
lint from my hoodie. I made a Christmas tree out of it.
That's really sweet. Thank you, Brennan. We've got to move along because otherwise my small ADHD child is going to die from lack of dopamine. I do also want to point out, shout out to 8-Bit Binks who just sent us 50 gifted members as well.
Yo.
Who's,
50 gifted members. Holy
That's a lot of
shit.
money.
Let's go.
We met at Paris. We were gonna get on the show at some point as well. He was a pretty big co-streamer. And you know what? In honor, I'd like to move us along to the global esports topic, if you don't mind, Kurt.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about global a little bit. They've officially announced their roster, which includes the coaching staff as well. The coaching staff is like a combination of people that they previously had, so they've still got like Platoon working with them. But obviously they've got Frost now on the team as well. And then we know that the roster now for sure includes Autumn, Xavi, who is going to be the IGL, Patman, Crystal, Yudatan, and then Derion as well. But Derion, I believe, is going to be the sub. But this roster could be pretty damn good. Like, I think they were already set up in a decent spot from last year's roster because they had like building blocks that they could really work with for maybe the first time ever. And now I'm believing they could actually do a bit of damage more than they did last time.
Yeah, this on paper has to be their best roster, I think, for sure. My concern with the team was going to be like, is Crystal gonna IGL? Now I don't know how good of an IGL Xavi is. I guess that's still like the big question mark for me. But on paper, looks like a good roster. Coach, we trust, we like the fact that he hates everyone else in Pacific. You know, we like the fact that he's a good coach. So we're in on the coach. I like the players. To me, the only question is IGLing. But other than that, I'm there. Can global fans hope for the first time? I think maybe. Then again, they probably hope every offseason, but then it quickly dwindles and dies.
Well, yeah, that's true. But at some point, surely the hope is like real, right?
Yeah, this is the time. This is the time that global fans can really hope. But Pacific is also really good, so it can still be actually pretty good and not do that well.
They got triple Senti on Lotus Balax, right? Like as an analyst, like they got some sauce coming potentially with that roster when it comes to like
Russ,
what they can
Russ
try out.
does love to cook a bit as well, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
hoping for some funny stuff.
Yeah.
Frost actually did a pretty interesting interview recently, which was written up in Korean, but then you know gets Google translated back into English. And I mean, just reading through it, doesn't seem like the Google Translate completely butchered what was being communicated here. But he talked quite a bit in this interview with, what is the website called? esports.dyu.ac.korea. So I think it's like a university esports department that did a pretty like long form, in-depth interview with Frost. And he was talking, there's a segment in here about why he disagrees with the way that the Talon scenario was handled. And then he's answering some questions about like the Pacific League. He thinks that the Pacific will be the strongest region for a very long time to come. And then his goals for global esports are the reason that I bring this up actually here. So he says, Autumn's going to be the team captain, but not the IGL. That's going to be Xavi. And then, interestingly, Frost says, many people, even global esports officials, initially questioned my decision to make Xavi the IGL. However, I'm confident Xavi's a good IGL. He's growing much faster than I expected, but he's still lacking the experience to take on the leadership role of captain. So it's going to be more of a situation where, like, Xavi and Frost come up with the strats, and Autumn is the team's sheriff. If someone crosses the line or breaks the rules, he'll take care of it, which I think is a very funny way of phrasing that. And then he said that where's the goals part? I think it's at the very end. Failing to qualify for champions would be a complete failure. The only thing that matters to me is winning the international championship. Winning the regular season or a Masters Trophy is great, but ultimately, champions is everything to me. And then my second goal is to grow all of the players into leaders that can lead the team next year. So like Xavi, Autumn, Crystal, etc., trying to turn them into like leadership teams. But I mean, the goal being make it to champions is a very lofty goal, I think, in a league as stacked as Pacific. I'm not sure I believe in them that much.
Isn't that everyone's goal, though?
Well, you
Like,
say that, yeah, but also there's... I mean, I'm not going to fault anybody for having high goals, expectations. Like, you should want to lift a trophy at some point, but I think it's about setting your expectations somewhere where you can reach a goal and then move, like, you know, like some long-term development plan. Rather than trying to marathon sprint all the way to the marathon and sprint don't belong in the same sentence, but my brain still isn't switched on. But you get what I mean. You can't.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. It's you're not giving yourself any outs, is what I will say. You're all in. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
That's
Thinking
a good strat,
about
though,
it,
for this year.
If the global fans, though, I think if global had the year that Talon did last year, I think the global fans would probably see that as a win.
Absolutely. Well, am I right in saying Global haven't made playoffs in any of these years? Because they didn't make playoffs last year.
They made playoffs once, didn't they?
Did they?
I don't think
they might have made playoffs when the league was a lot smaller or something.
Maybe
I'm not
they
sure.
made an
But
8th place or something. I don't know.
But then playoffs used to be 6 as well, so I
Yeah.
don't think they actually have. But I could be wrong on that.
Mm.
But I think just like even making it to playoffs would be a great first step for Global. And then if you're able to push forward,
That's too low.
No, you gotta listen. It's not
way
a
better
sprint,
than
though.
they've
Like,
ever done before.
They're planning out the whole year. Why would I as a head coach like plan out the year and be like, just want to make playoffs once? That'd be nice.
I just want
Like,
to finish 8th out of 12.
Yeah,
Come on.
you're not gonna say
That's-
that.
that's
but I'm,
so possible.
but you could
That's
be like,
so
But it's
easy.
that's so easy. It's twice as good as
okay,
they've done before.
okay,
I think
but
them
also you
saying
don't
some-
have to say that. You can just say our goal is to make an international event and get some good results this year. And then that way, it's like if you even make a Masters, whatever, you're setting the bar a little bit lower, but you're still one of the best teams in your region. You know,
That's true.
It's-
That's true.
you don't have to say
like
like you don't have to be all the way at the fucking bottom or all the way at the top. You can be
Okay,
like,
but
He's not-
I
he's not
don't
putting
mean
the
what
top.
they should say for PR. I'm not saying like what should Frost have literally said in this answer. What I'm saying
man,
is
it's just like-
like inside their own heads at Global Esports, maybe not even what they say to each other because you don't want to put the like lower expectations out there into the world. But don't like what are we talking about in terms of a successful season here from our perspective as Global Esports? I think if they had like a run in top 6 and never made an international, I think I would still consider that to be very successful.
I'd say that's not a success. I think with this type of move, it has to be at least make one international.
Was? Was?
I think that's too far.
Will you
Was?
wear
For a team that's never made playoffs before, you think
Yes.
success is simply defined by whether or not you make an international?
I think for every team, yeah,
Anything less is
successful year or non-successful year just depends on if you're making one of the 3 internationals offered to you. There's a big mismatch of coming like what this time with the triple elim at
To be fair, I'm
kickoff,
with
there's an
Chad.
extra
What-
slot. Like there's 3.
What the fuck are you
internationals.
playing
There's
for
like
if you're not
12
trying
spots,
to do
like,
something?
to make
Let's
one of them-
finish 6th. Yeah, and then fucking get kicked out because 3 teams are getting kicked out next year at the end of this contract cycle. Like fucking, we did a great job. In the last year we finished 6th. Fucking
Well,
hell.
in the context of that, like getting kicked out if you don't perform well, but I don't think getting kicked out, if they are going to address like who's involved with the league next year, it's not going to be based. Oh, I mean, in 2027, it's not going to be based on whether or not you did well, like the results that you've been getting.
Isn't that one of the parameters that they
I
mentioned?
think it might be.
So
Like a
what?
team-
You've been shit for 3 years, but then you have 1 year where you make champs, and they're like, "Oh no, great org."
No, because that'd be like if you just had 1 year where you made champs, then you were shit for 3 years, they would count that 1 year. I'm talking about that year that you were good was the newest year where you made the biggest changes, and that staff is on payroll now. Yeah, that's considered. What the fuck? You turned the ship around. If you had a son who's getting C's all throughout the year and lifts it up to an A at the end of the year and makes university and fucking graduates, good job, little Timmy. You're good. That's good. I view Timmy as a changed, elevated human. I view GE as a changed, elevated team. What are we talking about?
Elevated human is crazy. All right, fair enough. Let's talk Team Liquid and Team Secret as well. Let's go back a little bit to Team Liquid. So they've also officially announced their roster. We did touch on this a while back, but this is with Miniboo's inclusion. This is the rebuild that they had to do because, well, for a number of reasons actually. Obviously they lost Kiko, but also it seems like there was like some discord within the team as well. Trex and Paditek and Kiko reportedly not really seeing eye to eye to whatever to whatever point, and so they've essentially full rebuilt the team here. Keeping Nats, adding Miniboo, they've got Wayne, they've got Purpo, they've still got Camo, and they still keep the head coach as well, who presumably has learned a lot from last year because they had a lot of success. But they also failed at some absolutely crucial, critical moments throughout the year when they should have done better. What are you feeling for this roster? Like, are they going to be better than last year's Liquid?
That's a high
It's a
bar.
tough call. There's a lot of changes, right? I think one of the things for last year's Liquid, which was a point that like I made way back in December, is that they made the least amount of changes, kept a nice core, and added like spice basically. But this time with like a full rebuild and like the maps turning to what they are and the meta being what it is, not having someone like not having that experience and set kind of island to branch off of and build off of, I think is something that might hurt Liquid a little bit. The other thing is I'm not sure what like the academy and the practice looks like, because as TMV mentioned, having a set team to face off against is one of the best things. They did that at kickoff last time, regardless of what their roster was. That was like a very big reason as to why they excelled so much. I feel like a lot of that is gone now. I think Kiko was a big part of the identity of this roster as well, and not having him is a little bit of a pain point. So I'm not sure the expectations are the same as last time, and at the same time the power is not the same as the last time within the roster. But that's just me.
For this roster, it's kind of a, because obviously last year you had kind of 2 main pillars, right? You had the Nats pillar and you had the Kiko pillar, and they would give you like, they gave Liquid a certain floor of like, we're not gonna be worse than like, you know, 5th, 6th best team in the EMEA, right? Just because you've got those 2 players and they're playing so well, you put anyone else in there and you'll be fine, right? And then obviously the other players, and then you pick up some of the good players and you can, reach internationals like they did. This year without Kiko and like bringing in, someone like Miniboo, let's say, Miniboo obviously can reach fantastic heights, but he can also, have some poor games as well. And I do worry that for this roster, like, if Nats isn't having a good game, like they could, for instance, Liquid, I feel like this year will be a team that could really beat anyone. Like if you're a good team, you don't want to play Liquid, but then they also might play someone who's like near bottom of the barrel, and like Nats doesn't have a good game, Miniboo doesn't have a good game, and it just starts to like fall apart, and you're like, oh my god. I really think we could see like a big gap in terms of how Liquid, in terms of how their season goes. Now, if they can put it together and put it together run, they could still be potentially as good as last year's team. But I do think losing Kiko and just losing that kind of second pillar to just know you're going to have two players play well is not going to be easy to replace and not going to be a good time.
At the same time, though, Miniboo, I think, has always done pretty well without too much in terms of resources. When he's been playing on teams, and I imagine they'll keep the same play style, like Team Liquid. That I mean, in regards to the way that they played, because they were a very weird team when you watch them play. Very spread out. They didn't really invest in one player too much unless they had like a round built around it. It was a lot of just like trying to make space, trying to take space around the map and seeing what you can get done. So, but I think...
To that point though, Brent, I think that you could say that the argument there is that Nats being the IGL and being Nats will sometimes just call rounds of like, let me win the round, right? You guys just pause, and I've got a tiny bit of space, I'll win the round, which obviously they still can do because they still got Nats IGLing. So
yeah, that's exactly my point, which is you've got to play like Miniboo that's kind of used to having to put his body on the line quite often to try and get his team to win in a lot of rounds when he was playing on Heretics. So I think he will fit in quite nicely. It's like a team environment where you can't expect too much to get shit done, but Miniboo's, I think, pretty good at that, pretty used to it. And I don't know, that's just pure speculation from me. They might completely change their playstyle up.
It's all speculation.
I don't think
it's all speculation.
I don't think they will change their playstyle because I think they've kept the two pillars of the coach and the IGL who view the game in that kind of way. Right. And I know that Nats was very, like when you hear Nats communicate his game plans to the team, he's always talking and reinforcing that whenever there's a question mark, they need to be proactive and go and clear it. And it can't always come from him as the caller. Like, he needs other vocal people to be saying, like, all right, let's go and do this to be able to, they're on defense split or something. Let's go and repush mid. Let's go and reclear B main, like, whatever it is. I think that Miniboo is a really proactive player, and he's willing to take those risks, so I think he'll fit in nicely. But I think on Heretics, he had the ability to put his body on the line and guarantee that he was going to get traded out by somebody amazing behind him, like Rien's, like Woot, for example. And I think on this team, that's going to require a big step up from the others. That's going to require Wayne to really like hit his potential, for Purpo to hit his potential. These are players that, I mean, for Purpo especially, people have been talking about Purpo being like next up for genuinely 5 years at this point, maybe 4 years, something like that. Wayne is a much more like newer name on the block, but a lot of people talking about like this guy's going to be really sick. So I think a lot of it is going to rely either on Miniboo playing more selfishly and therefore becoming one of those pillars like Kiko was, or one of the other guys overperforming or like instantly fulfilling what they could be. And I think that's unlikely. Remember Team Liquid at kickoff and how shit they were, how fucking all over the place they were. I could see that happening again, where they're really wobbly at the start of the season and then they start kind of like ramping up later on.
Yeah, the rampage just might be tough because you make a good point with like looking at some of the other smaller, like not egos, but players in general, like Purpo and Wayne. Honestly, it's all about Wayne. If you're looking at combining both your points, like Josh and TMV, like the pillars thing, it's about the controller inside the server as well. It's, like Kiko was doing a lot of things away from Nats, and like there was a lot of pressure on all sides of the map, and it doesn't go on to Miniboo. I think in terms of role, it goes on to Wayne. So like, what can Bruce Wayne do is the question. Are we looking at year one Batman? Are we looking at like, a situation where Bane's breaking his back at the start of kickoff? Like it's
that's not good. That's not good.
Well, surely that'd be the,
we could get Wayne Bane
versus Bane.
Batman. We can make a Batman squad.
We can actually make a full Batman squad. That's so good.
Get Riddle Order to get like somehow up in there in international.
One thing I did want to quickly say though as well is who is playing Recon? Is it
Mini
camo?
boost flex is what they've said.
But who's
So-
playing recon? That's my big question because I think the recon.
It's
You're still gonna
purpo,
play
I
Fatal
assume.
Sober.
It'd have to be camo or purple.
Exactly.
No,
but
Camo's duelist, surely, isn't he?
If camo's duels, and
Oh,
maybe
maybe
it's
not.
mini or purple.
This is
It's
the
between
thing.
mini and purple. It's between mini and purple.
But my point is basically they don't have an experienced recon player. You're still gonna play recon on pretty much every single map. And I think that having a good recon now is more important because of the changes that they've made. Knowing when to, use your utility as a recon player now, particularly on defense side, I think is going to become quite important. And I think the gap between the best ones and the not so good ones is going to become quite big. And I think that would be a worry for me that they don't have an experienced recon
The people
player.
are
They're saying
saying
it's
camo.
camo.
The
Yeah.
people are saying camo. Spamming recon in ranked, and yeah, that's the most likely outcome. But I mean, I don't. Yeah, if you look at his
All
all-time,
See some gecko in there.
they're going to be the world's first gecko-only team. So yeah, that is a big. I think it is going to rely on those players stepping up enormously. Let's talk about Team Secret here as well for a moment. Team Secret fans left out in the desert, just gulping for a smidgen of water. And here you go. You get your thimble full of water. Team Secret have lost Envy, but you get TenTen and BerserX. Do you accept the trade offer? I think most Secret fans are
What, can they
not.
play 6v5?
Well, I haven't even been keeping track of Team Secret particularly. I think they've only got BerserX,
loads they
TenTen,
have.
and Sylvan at the moment.
No,
What is
I
the-
think they're
what's the
keeping
website
Jesse
called?
Vash.
They're keeping Jesse and Kelly?
VCTstats.com/rostermania.
Kelly
Yeah.
S, Jesse Vash, and then those three.
I mean, this is a sad team, I think.
Don't know how it's going to work. I mean, yeah. Seems like you could have some language barrier issues. Seems like it's your last kind of punt in the partnership era, and I don't want to say they've given up. I don't want to use the words they've given up for the last year of partnership, but it does feel like they're just kind of
Right, bro.
slapping together a
Oh,
roster.
say it, Brent. If you say it and Team Secret win the first international,
Oh, but
for sure.
that's what's going to
Think of the
happen.
show.
Okay. I'll say it then because it is funny if it happens. And also, listen, I'm down to be proven wrong. You could listen. Here's the thing: the players that are on this roster are going to want to win and perform and prove themselves, no matter
hope
what.
so.
But the org, in terms of how they've organized the roster and who they've picked up and who they've choose to go with, is another thing entirely. Like, I don't say this to shit on the players at all, but I say this to shit on the org, which it just feels like they realized that the time is nigh and there's going to be a new change. There's going to be very big changes happening to the entire system heading into 2027 and onwards. And so you can kind of just throw together a roster together. You have two players that you don't have to worry about visa stuff going on because the league is based in Korea, including your coach, I guess, as well. So, but that's already a continuation. So I don't think they're going to be lifting trophies. Happy to be proven wrong. Feels like the org is kind of phoning it in.
For a reason, though, right? Like, this could be, if you look at draft rules, like, because ultimately, VCT in every region is a bit of a draft as to who's getting what player. You spend the big money, get the good players first. Secret could just be getting some budgets now, chilling out for kickoff.
Moneyball.
Kickoff's deeper. Yeah.
Moneyball
Kickoff's
style.
a bit deeper. You look at some of the players who might get dropped or some of the players from Challengers who are doing better inside that time frame. Pick them up. Replace Vash.
The apology video in Tagalog is going to go crazy from Bren. It's going to go crazy. No, I agree with you, though. It does. They had Envy on a contract until the end of this year. I mean, obviously, Envy would want to leave. I don't see why you would want to stay. But the fact that they are not trying to build a team around Envy does imply to me like they're just kind of chilling for this year.
The year, though, is crazy. I feel like they could just be chilling for kickoff. Like, this move screams that we might just be fielding something.
But the problem with
something greater.
The problem with the idea is they have to pick up Korean players then, because the visas are just an absolute nightmare for most of the Filipino players. Like we saw Patrick get delayed for 9,000 years. We've seen other players too. Just
but
get
what if
delayed
they're
for
Feels
spending
like
all
they've
their
done a
money-
Furia where they've just got sick of visa stuff and gone.
Yeah.
What if they're spending all their money on super packs in Santiago and London to make sure that visas are easily attainable for the players they're looking at getting later on, politically
maybe.
shaping the landscape of those regions just so their players can get signed and play.
It's possible.
Hope.
It's possible.
The UK needs all the investment it can get right now. So
Yeah. Let's move on to a friend of the show, Minnie, who's also underwent a roster change recently. He's moved to Zeta Division as a coach advisor, which I did not see this one coming. So now Sliggy, after ranting and raving about Zeta Division's coaches for like 2 years, although Sliggy is a fan of XQQ, now Sliggy has, I think, puppeteered this entire thing and has now got XQQ and Mini, 2 Sliggy-approved Slug Club coaches, right into Zeta Division to power them forwards.
I'm biased, but this kind of cooks, no?
oh, this absolutely.
This kind of cooks.
This gives me hope.
Off the basis of Zeta Division always struggling when it comes to the coaching, and now they just have a clear direction to follow. You have a tried and tested coach who's earned stuff in the past, and he's building you a game plan, and all you have to do is stick to it. That's all you have to do. It's going to simplify the process for them, because it feels like, even though it shouldn't have been the case, Zeta Division throughout the years has felt like they just have a permanent brain fog across every member of that org. And they can't peer past the fog, and they don't understand. They're like, what the fuck do we do? What do we run? How do we play Valorant? What is this game? We've never seen this game before. And then they're trying to, like, they're wandering around like it's Silent Hill. The fucking eerie music is playing in the back. And they're like they got the tank controls going on. They're bumbling into walls and shit. And Zeta Division, finally, they've been given somebody who can actually see. There's no fog. They know they're gonna know how to play the game. In the nicest way possible. They haven't been playing the game.
Is there a roster full set?
I don't
They're still
know.
looking for a 5th, right? In Honey Bunny. And Absol's not a guarantee, but he was. I like Ace. If they pick up Ace from that tournament as well that was happening in Red Bull Homeground,
Ace was really
and
good.
get Mini in the business with, like, because yeah, you're right, Bren. Mini can see now, doesn't have the Resident Evil doll controls. What's in his inventory? He's got to fight the super nemesis monster guy, right? Like, what is he going to use to fight? Because right now, I'm not looking at pistols and stuff. I'm looking at maybe some 2x4s and some nails on a bat. Like, I need
That's
some.
fine. You can work with that.
But this is the
Against-
thing, Shayo. If this team is good somehow, but if you just believe in the power of friendship and Japanese viewership, if this team is good, Mini is going to cement himself as the GOAT. Like he's taken. Okay, you can win with Fnatic. Okay, you can win with Paper Rex. Yeah, sure, whatever. If you can win with Zeta Division, this is God's greatest challenge.
He's just like upping the difficulty as he goes.
Yeah.
Favorite food, pizza.
No, dude, this is so funny. This like profile. that they've
Hobbies
written
other than
about it.
games, movies. I've been watching a lot of Japanese movies lately.
It's
Films.
really funny.
Recently, lots of Japanese films. No, guys, I swear, I've been learning Japanese. I swear. Wait, what did he say at the end?
Well, I don't know.
What was
Dude, the one that I found funny is that the caption is not written by him, right? And it says, his name is Mini, his brain is big. I don't need words for him. Now, my translation said, he needs no words, which I thought was just...
Oh, this has been Google translated.
Yes, yeah.
That makes a lot more sense now as to what I was reading.
My Google translation says he needs no words, and I was like, well, that's going to help him a lot when he doesn't speak Japanese.
Just telepathically communicate to the players.
But
The aura.
the paragraph above his face as well says that he's joining not just to help the tactical stuff, but also to try to like improve the infrastructure of the team too. So like in terms of how you coach, how you run your scrims, how you scout, how that kind of stuff. So I think he's got a lot of good advice to give in those kind of departments that people often don't tap into because they just want him for his tactics. But yeah, Zeta seems like they could learn a lot from that as well because dude, the Japanese teams have a lot of money to be able to work with. Apparently, they have a lot of fan base and like players in tier 2 and ability to pull in other people from Korea potentially as well. So I don't think the problem is with the resources that they have
No.
at their disposal. It's how they're using them.
Which
So Mini should help.
get rid of the fog.
That means that they
Yeah.
probably have they'll use his like teachings to maybe get those last 2 players, and they might be like really, really good pickups that fit well with the team.
Maybe. I'd be surprised if they don't have a roster in mind already, though.
They're waiting to see who
Who
we
knows?
recommend should be signed at the end of this episode.
Yeah, at the end of this episode, we're going to be recommending some players.
Well, who do you
all right,
recommend
for now,
right now. Who do you
Ace,
recommend
I
sign
already
Ace.
said Ace.
Sign Ace, please.
Ace.
I need to see him in VCT.
Ace was
The
really
guy's a
good.
fucking legend, bro. Dropping 40s. Like what?
He
In
was
BO1s, but-
phenomenally talented in those games that we watched at Red Bull Homeground. The skill was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a rumor of M80 rejoining Valorant for the 2026 Challengers season. This is from Ari and Akamaru. Sources: M80 is trialing
Did my
players
audio
and
die?
is set to re-enter the Valorant Challengers NA in 2026. I think Shia may be having a couple of
I can
internet
hear
problems.
you,
as well.
Shah.
Hello, Shah.
Okay.
Hello, Shah.
You guys didn't hear Josh that whole time?
Yeah.
I heard him.
Oh, okay, that was
I
my
heard
bad.
him.
Your
Was it black?
your
Was it
camera
black?
flashed for a
Yeah, your
second.
yeah.
Like it was
Are
like
you sure
this.
you, like a Stranger Things-esque thing didn't happen to you?
Like that happened, and then you had an audio issue.
It's crazy.
Wait, you did it too? Hold on.
This bit is amazing for the Spotify
I'm
listeners.
not. I'm not.
Dude, audio listeners in shambles this episode. What is happening? What's going on? Your podcast isn't broken, by the way. Don't swerve into the side of the fucking highway.
Or is it?
It's not broken. You don't have to unpause or anything. We just decided to not say anything for 10 seconds.
Let's do it again.
Okay.
M80.
No. We're good. Sorry for
M80.
interrupting. Go ahead.
Shio, M80 might be rejoining Valorant for 2026 challenges. Is the Pog like you mean it, bro? Pog like you fucking mean it. Is this a
That's
sign?
crazy.
Is this a sign that the new format
Wait, I can't hear
works?
Josh now.
Yeah, he's skipping, isn't he?
Wait, I
There's
actually
something
can't hear
going on.
Josh. I'm not kidding. I can't hear Josh now.
This is unbelievable.
Wait, I genuinely can't hear him. I'm not
gonna-
trolling.
I'm gonna use Braille. I'm gonna
TV,
use
can you hear
Braille or
him?
something.
Connect to the call, Josh.
I can hear
Brand.
him. I can hear him. He's
It's-
fine.
TMV, you're next. They're coming for you, bro. You gotta make some...
I'm back.
Oh wait, I can hear him now. I can hear him.
Is M80 rejoining challengers a sign that the format
end
is
times.
better?
Is it a sign that the what is better?
The format, bro,
The
where
format
the
better?
challengers teams can take part in champions,
Sure,
brother.
man. Let's go with yes. Next
Yeah. I mean,
question.
Next
Here's my
question.
thing, right? That
Move
means that
on.
M80
Come on.
Come on.
My issue is nothing in the format said a team that gets second place can qualify. So why is M80 back? You know what I'm saying? Like they're the second place.
No, you have to
guarantee.
just
Play the
finish
laugh
second,
track. Play
child.
the laugh track.
You just have to finish second.
You just have to finish second in qual overall.
Yeah, 2 go through points, 2 go through. It got revealed
I
how it
didn't know
works,
ball
or at least in
all. I didn't know
Pacific it
ball at
did.
all. Yeah, then of course M80's back. They're the second
Wait, did
place
it really?
source.
Oh
I
yeah, did
missed
you not
this.
see this?
No,
Oh,
I
I
missed
should have.
this.
I told you to add the show. But anyway, yeah. I think it's on VLR. I think it's just on the VLR homepage. I think.
So they-
Yeah.
They
The
announced
primer.
the
Yeah, the
looking.
primer for the 2026. Okay, if you just go to VLR.
Full
Yeah.
primer.
So what they said was in this, the way that it works is the top 2 from each group, I think, goes straight to playoffs, and then the other teams that qualify for playoffs go into an 8-team bracket with the challengers teams. So there's kind of multiple stages of playoffs if you
I
think,
see.
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
they go into a bracket like a play-in. Then in that play-in, no, this is kickoff cut. I'm talking about like for champs. I think it
Stage
should be
2.
further down. I
It's
think.
this
Yeah,
paragraph
yeah. There.
underneath the graphic.
Yeah, so yeah, you get 8 teams going into a play-in, then the winners of that, including the challengers teams, can then go into the playoffs, and then for the playoffs, you need to finish in the top. The challengers teams will need to finish in the top 2 to make
Okay.
it, and 2 teams will go through
Oh,
points.
that's a gauntlet.
It's fine.
So, yeah,
M80
it
can
is a
never
bit of a
come
gauntlet.
third, and they can never come first. So if all they gotta do is come second, we're chilling. We're actually
Well, but
big
they do
chilling.
have to actually win when they get to playoffs.
Yeah, but if I mean, the rumor is what they're building a roster around Nismo, right? Which, like we've seen in this offseason, whatever's happening with Nismo can keep up with tier 1 players, at least in America. So what we're looking
Yeah.
at with some of these invitationals and whatnot. And if we have Xander, who also might get collected from M80, like, there's a bunch of talent that's on like Hubert and like other rosters that might start to
I
get
don't
sucked
think
in by the.
Xander's not even on Cubit anymore, right?
What's Xander's situation?
No.
Is he just
Xander was playing for the Shopify roster or something. Wasn't he?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think
Shopify.
there's a lot of free pieces around it.
But I think that Shopify roster was just thrown together. I don't know whether it's like staying as Shopify.
Yeah.
they may just have like a black hole of money ready to just acquire tier 2 peoples with the, you know, attraction of Nismo. I think it's definitely possible.
I think that the problem for, again, these teams, though, is like Shio's suggestion of Team Secret, the tier 1 teams that struggle at the start of the year are going to pick up some of the best tier 2 players anyway. So the best tier 2 teams coming in at the start of the year probably are going to get nerfed.
I think there is a slightly different dynamic this year, though, in that, okay, let's say that, let's say Cloud9 struggles at the beginning of the year and they look to make a roster move. If they're struggling too badly and they're like, 1-4 or something to open up the year, if you're on M80 and you're crushing some of the tier 1 teams in scrims, you're doing like really well. Or not all of them, obviously, but like you feel like you're doing better than Cloud9 are right now. Do you want to go and join Cloud9, where you probably have a worse chance of being able to make it to an international event because you think the roster's like fucking hopeless? Or do you want to stay with your top tier 2 team in the hope that you might be able to make it on this miracle run? I think this is the only year where staying in tier 2 makes, for some very niche cases, more sense.
Yeah, because it's not even about making it to champs, but having that successful story under yourself as a player, like that you made it to playoffs, that you made it that far. Because yes, like if we come back to reality, these guys, to make it to champs, will have to then win after that, right? After that top 2, which is the hard part. But making it there from your challengers team is probably better, like, you know, clout bucks for you coming into 2027 and getting signed, then getting picked up by, you know, C9 or whoever it is, end of kickoff, beginning of stage 1, and then being middling all the way till the end of the year. So the tier 2 teams, they have like some sort of leverage this year in terms of staying together, which is really cool.
And
To
remember
counteract that, I would argue who won champs this year.
RG.
a team with 3 rookies on it, 3 tier 2 teams, 3 tier 2 players. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's my point. That if you're a tier 2 player, like if a right team, like NRG were mid.
Okay,
They were the struggling
all right,
team
but you
that
can
then
also
managed to win champs.
Yeah,
So-
but you
so-
could flip that on its head and say 3 tier 2 players also managed to win
Yeah,
champs.
but now
Like,
they're in tier 1 and there isn't growing
Okay,
on
let me
trees.
But they
double
could have
click
stayed
that.
in
Let
tier
me-
2, and next year they might have just been able to do the exact same thing without going into tier 1. They literally placed second inside Americas. That would have been enough to get them to champs. And then they went on the run themselves. Like, of course, they're going to be working with a different talent pool because you're not going to drag Ethan from tier 1 down to tier 2, right? I would imagine that chance is like almost zero. That good tier 1 players are going to go down to tier 2 teams because they think they've got a better chance of making it. But I do think that the NRG example slices both ways.
And also, like, to take your energy example, like, how many teams made a tier 2 like pickup and didn't do anything? Go to the hand store TMV, buy more hands to count on, because there's so many teams that were in that situation. And there's one NRG.
You can't say that because there's only so many teams that can make champs. So if everyone makes a roster move and picks up a tier 2 player, they can't all make champs. They can't all
Okay, so
do well.
that's the point. So it's about making through,
Yeah.
like, just making it to playoffs.
Everyone,
So
you picked up a
if
tier
you
2 player. Oh, here's your ticket for champs.
host,
Take the
go to the
ticket.
next point. Host, move the show along.
No, but like, you'd have to look over all the years, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to put that work in, but
Well,
You'd
look,
have to
who started the show with those graphs, they'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, you have to look at every
Yaku?
single year and see what the chances, like who made champs and who actually did something there, or who did anything at any event once they made a last minute change, picking up players from tier 2.
Oh,
The answer? We don't
Move on.
we don't know.
Yeah.
Jarvis, Nuke his house.
Jarvis, move us along to the next
Mods, take
point.
out his kneecap in Minecraft.
SLT Seongnam has been acquired by a different organization in a move that I don't particularly understand, but it means that we've got another Japanese organization in Pacific. So, I mean, maybe this is the reason that Riot weren't as determined to get another Japanese org to take the slot for Talon or something. I don't know. But VARREL has acquired SLT Seongnam. Maybe it's one of those weird scenarios where
Is that their
Seongnam wasn't
logo?
allowed to...
Yeah.
Which one? The
They
V?
just copied ZETA Division. Like, let's
That's
just
really
copy their font
strange.
and just
Isn't it?
do a V in
No,
ZETA
so what you
style.
don't see is that there's a little curvature on that top line
cheers
right
for that.
there.
Cheers
That
for
changes a lot of
Actually, you're
things.
right. Actually, I'm blind and I didn't see that. You're right.
Yeah, and the
I played
spacing
for-
between the
I play for
triangle
ZETA
and the main
Division.
is-
I actually can't see. I'm waiting for Minnie to tell me there's a little curve there.
Unfortunately, to counter your point, the Zeta Division have like little curves at the,
Oh no!
yeah. I'll bring up the
Oh,
logos.
shit.
It's kind of brutal.
Oh, mogged by serif fonts
Oh,
again.
no.
Shayo mogged by serif fonts.
I'm actually speechless for the first time in my life. That's crazy. A point with VARREL though, they've got a Pokemon Unite team. They're saucing in Overwatch a little bit as well. And like I think tier 2, I'm not sure. The Zeta logo is opposite. Wait, what are we talking about? Go back.
Yeah,
What?
there's some curves
That's
there,
not
man.
even no, but it's not curvature to mainline ship. Like that's the ship and that's the emergency pod. You got two thin lines that look like a crossing in a highway, and then two like Pong dome spheres at the top sides. It's completely different logos. What are you guys talking about?
Well, they are. One of them's a
speechless.
V and one of them's a Z, but they do look like they could be in the same font package.
Not even. They're not even related. There's no way.
Is this?
There's no way.
Are there other examples of this? But isn't it?
Those are the version 1 logo. If
No, I
anything,
guess
like,
it's
from back in the
fine.
day.
Because they're not.
The
They're
chat
not
has already
playing
come up
in-
with the chat's. By the way, the chat's way ahead of us. They've already come up with the same characters for the Zeta thing that you use to type it into Twitch chat. They've already created the VARREL one. So I mean, it's
No, but they flipped it.
You're
They
getting
flipped
mocked.
it, though. It's a different character. Flip the slash. It's a backslash.
It doesn't matter though. It does. Yeah, because it's a V. It needs to spell a V. It can't just be random fucking lines.
It's thick, man. I see thick and thin. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a difference.
No, I guess it's fine actually.
Yeah,
I was
because
thinking,
they got-
I was
they
thinking
got
about
money.
I was thinking about a team that competes in the Korean league being picked up by an owner from a different country, but then they've already qualified for the year.
yeah.
So
And the entire scenario is going to be different for next year.
yeah, it's going to
not
be
like
so different for next year. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, I'd love to see more like proper reporting about whether there was a large amount of money that changed hands based on the, because in theory you're not supposed to sell the spots, right?
Yeah.
But in reality,
In
like
theory.
when this kind of stuff happens, presumably some of that value is actually factored in, because how could it not be? So yeah, like you're also not supposed to have kind of, Riot has rules about governments owning stuff, but Seongnam I think was just a sponsor, so that shouldn't have mattered. I don't know. This is the kind of story that means nothing without more detailed reporting, though. I think
Yeah,
it's just
I'm on it.
all
I
right.
feel like the
cool.
rules are kind of wishy-washy in Pacific.
Mm.
They just
They're
kind of
just
bend them a
vibes-based.
little bit. It is. It's almost vibes based. They're just like, as long as the league runs, that's the only thing they're concerned about. And like they're willing to kind of look the other way to some stuff. Like, yeah, okay, that's a bit odd. Never mind.
I mean, G2 did buy the guard, so it happened in America.
but that had to be. You remember the whole uproar around that?
yeah, of course.
That,
But it
the
ended
entire
up with
community
G2
had to
buying
be
the
up in
guard.
arms, and we had to get Leo involved to.
Dude, can you imagine if they hadn't though? There would have been one less team
Yeah.
still in America.
Yeah, it would have been so.
No, they
silly.
would
It
have
was the
promoted
world-
2 teams the next year.
Oh,
Like
well,
an 11
maybe, but
team format.
It was the world.
We did have an 11-team format anyway.
Decision.
Yeah, but America's would have been on 11 teams, while every other region's on 12. was what was going to happen, which would have been just awful in terms of. I mean, you're trying to have parity across your leagues. Yeah,
The formats would have been insane.
the formats would have been ridiculous.
All right, I talk about ridiculous formats. Let's move on to Project Blender. Let's talk about this tournament that was happening with the EMEA teams coming up. Before we dive into things, I mean, GIANTX wins the entire thing. We'll talk about some of the teams and results and that kind of stuff. But to catch people up, they had a weird format with this where, first of all, like 1,000 teams participated. It was insane. But they also had a rule set where I'm going to simplify it a bit, but basically you just couldn't have the same agents in back-to-back maps. Actually, when you picked the first map, you couldn't have the same agents in any of the 3 maps, but if you didn't pick the first map, it was back-to-back. It was a bit of a silly thing, but essentially it forced you to swap up your compositions across multiple maps, which I think... I don't remember seeing a format that worked exactly like this, but I think it was kind of cool. Like it did create a lot of different comps, and it meant that people weren't just picking random comps for random maps. They actually had like completely planned, this is our split comp that doesn't overlap with our Haven comp or whatever, so that we can play both of the maps in one BO5, one BO3. So in reality, I ended up not actually lowering the skill level that much, I think, which was that's always my concern when it comes to these kind of weird rule sets, is are people just throwing poo at the wall and seeing what sticks?
Yeah, I think it like was one of the reasons Eternal Fire actually lost Bind at the end of the day. If they had like a chance to get Fade, which I think was their second maps pick, it'd be better than Gecko, which like didn't do as much for them and didn't really slot in with Waylay as much, like on some of the entry pathways. But then that's why it's interesting, right? Like you get to see Sky Gecko again, you get to see how that works out. But the grand finals themselves, like you're looking at both these teams, was really cool because there's such different flavors of like rosters. Like Eternal Fire, I think, was all about, you know, just playing in twos. I call it pendulum swinging, where like you're always one guy's relying on the other person's contact and then he swings off the angle. They're doing a lot of that on Abyss. It was looking really good. I think Izzy is like the main person to look at. Attack opping all the time, defense opping. Like if he doesn't get a 3K in a round sometimes, they weren't winning rounds, but he was doing it consistently, at least on like the second map of Sunset. Abyss though, I'm seeing like a danger comp coming in like for this year with this Tejo Astra stuff, where like once you put the spike down, and like GX was doing a little bit, the round's over. Like they have like 15-16 seconds of like double salvo pull, and there's like nothing you can do, and it's still a thing on the map, and like they were abusing it over and over again to win some rounds they shouldn't have even won. Like it's crazy.
I think this made me. I know these Mickey Mouse tournaments are kind of hard to read, but it actually made me feel better about GIANTX going into this year, because one of the questions I had was how consistent was their run leading up as they went into champs and onwards, right? Because they hadn't really shown any of it otherwise. But I think that this event was a really good example of that they actually do have that dog in them. That because I think only the most driven teams, this is my thought process with it, only the most driven teams with something to prove are actually going to take this event seriously. There's going to be a lot of teams that entered and we're just using it as some like light practice to try and warm up into, because it's not really comparable in terms of what you can take into the beginning of kickoff, because the comps are constantly changing. But it does test, I think, your ability to on the fly work out compositions, calling your util combos really effectively, and just understanding how your comp is supposed to work, even if you don't have all the pieces together. So it really tests these kind of, I don't know, this puggy, the puggy element, right? Of trying to like always cook up stuff, even when you don't have the most optimal comp at hand, which I think you know, only the teams that take it the most seriously are going to be able to do well, which I think was showed with Giants. They were doing pretty good. They were doing really good. I mean, they won the whole fucking thing, so pretty good is kind of an understatement. But
there was still some there were some flip rounds better in these finals. Where like if they lose a 1v1 or they lose like a specific, honestly, got just a clutch straight up head to head, it might have gone EF's way. Like they would have had like a crazy round lead after that. The ego would have been bad. But you're right. Like in terms of their experience, like carrying all that up to this point, they looked really good. And
it just made me feel better. It made me feel better about them as a team heading into 2026, to be honest, because I was having doubts. Like I didn't really know how consistent it was going to be, but showing how seriously they did take this and the elements that it prioritizes that you need to get to win in a tournament format like this, it left me feeling pretty good about them.
There's one round I want to, if you can look at, Kurt, when it's 9-7, I believe, where like EF, I think, just throw and do the craziest thing where like it might have even been Giants. I need to see if the round comes back. There's like an Astra pull, but it's like their team's Astra pull that they go into and just absolutely in like a man advantage that changes like the perspective of like just the entire who's in the lead of the game, because it's 9-7. If you win, it's big chilling. I think this happens like on B, like way later into the round. But essentially like they get a pick. They're in the lead. There's a smoke popped up on long as well, and the majority of the people from, I guess, I can't even see who's on attack right now, but basically Giants on attack. Yeah. So on defense, like they get this pick and everything's fine. And then you go in and you pause here and the Astra's on their team, bro. The Astra's on their team and they're running into a suck. I'm like, what is going on here? And that just throws the whole round. Like things like that where like you see.
That is incredible.
Yeah. There were like small things like this happening from like EF every now and then where it's like, oh, okay. Like, you know, you can see some of the pressure might be getting to them, or like the composure of like a tier 1 level team is like not there. For the side of Giants though, like you're talking about the things that you like, Brent, about like how they're kind of more consistent, they're looking good results based. Their pain point, in my opinion, is always going to be Aura and his consistency. And if you go to Abyss a little bit, there are rounds, and if you looked at that entire map, he's doing like a lot of pug style things, because it is a pug
Aura
style
was
tournament.
playing under the alias of Labubu, right?
He was Labubu, yes.
Okay, because I was like, that has to be Aura, but I wasn't following the tournament enough to know otherwise. But I was like, why the fuck is this player named Labubu?
He was like rolling down mid by himself randomly, which is like cool. Like, you know, it is what it is. We're just starting off the tournament, but it was getting like destroyed over and over again until like the very, I think second last round where like he finally plays on an Astro Wall where he was getting discovered 24/7. The team just walks by him Psalm style, and he finally gets to 3K, and you can just hear like Waylay smiling. Like it's because it was like 6 rounds of torture. Like he has the timing, he gets cleared. You can see, I mean, Sideshow, you had a problem with this yesterday. It's like people could see his shadow like on the edge of like a, you know, he has a problem with like CS apparently where you can see shadows on corners, and apparently that's bullshit because he can't explain.
It's fucking stupid for new players because you don't know where the angle of the sun. You
Bro,
have to
look
calculate
at
the
look
angle
at your
of the sun
look at
in
the
order
floor
to
and look
figure
at
out-
your shadow. What do you mean?
Oh yeah,
it's
let me
stupid for
let
new
me let me
players?
run around looking at the floor to see whether my shadow is peeking out
You,
around the corner.
you don't
behind
have
me.
to
I've got
just
to have
stare at
place
the
on
floor. You can just go about your day. You just when you're taking an angle.
I accept that I would understand it if I had played more CS. What I'm saying is
Yeah.
it's silly for new players because they did.
I just want to remind you, we didn't win a single game yesterday.
Yeah, I know,
play
it
till
was
we lose.
tragic.
We played.
We played till we win.
Jesus Christ.
We lost
drew a
like
game.
how many games?
We
We
drew a
lost
game.
4 games, 5
We
games.
drew a game.
No, it was
15.
more
We
than
drew a
5.
game.
We did draw 1 game.
We
did
drew
draw
one game, 15-15,
Fucking
and we
hell.
just lost
You
every
guys
other
could play for
game.
Wolves football.
By the way,
team
I was
as
playing on a
result of that.
fucking 100. Yeah, I was playing on
well for being
110
120.
ping.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
This
no,
is
you were
chill.
playing. You were playing well
Jesus Christ.
with shadows as well.
I
with shadows.
with shadows enabled. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, I was really impressed. You said that Izzy was the player to watch. Izzy's been around a long time. Izzy was on that supermassive Blaze roster in 2021.
Yeah, with Brave. Yeah.
Yeah, with Brave, who I think Animus stepped into sub for Brave, right, in this roster. Or to replace him, maybe full-time. I'm not sure. But the player that I was most actually excited about, because I know Izzy. I know Izzy's super talented, but I also know that Izzy is hyper-confident and is always looking to take another fight. And I think that that playstyle doesn't really work the higher up you go. You have to be playing your absolute A game all the time to pull off a style like that. The player that I was really excited to watch, though, when I was watching Eternal Fire, was Spear, this newer player who came out of essentially nowhere, from what I can see. Like, he only just joined teams this year, in 2025, and he's flying. His actual ability to just win kills from the Sensi
like
or
Spring.
Initiator role is astonishing.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be the thing going for like EMEA. We might end up with like 80% Turkish players by the time we get to
And is there anything wrong
2029
with
or
that?
something. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just crazy that there's just an endless stream of like if you're an EMEA and you're like, oh, who are the top, tier 2 prospects? It's like for the past 3 years and going on for the 4th, 5th, 6th year now in a row, it's just going to be, oh, well, the top, in the top 5, there's 4 Turkish players, and maybe 1 who isn't.
I will say,
Crazy.
watching this tournament, I agree with you, TMV. Yeah, it's going to be, that might be the future that we're living in. We're actually just looking at actually EMEA is just a Turkish league. And I'd be cool with it, I think, to be honest, because the players are incredibly skilled. But I was very much enjoying reading the chat replay because I was watching the VOD last night and seeing the amount of people just rage baiting. And
About what?
there was some dumbasses in the chat typing like Spear is the Turkish alpha year and baiting the chat with it, and like people in chat were like they were actually biting on it. I was like, there's no way you can believe that that's not
so funny.
that's not just a stupid comment that somebody's wrote. And there was a bunch of people like, no, well, actually, doesn't this guy know that Alfie is already, he's Turkish already? Like, what do you mean? This guy's a dumbass. Like, these people were like actually getting got so fucking hard. And it made the VOD review much more enjoyable, actually,
You were
watching
kicking
that
your little
interaction
feet.
take place. That's all I
We
want
should
to
ask
say.
for that every time. If you're ever watching the main VCT broadcast, make sure to try and rage bait everyone in there so that when I or anyone else is watching a VOD, we can have a little chuckle.
Yeah, I was
mean,
chuckling at it.
Watching a VOD with the chat on is crazy behavior, by the way. Like,
That
VOD
is
reviewing
crazy.
with
I
chat
don't know
is
how
really
to do
crazy behavior.
But I
It was
might
partly
start.
because I don't normally do that, but I was an edible in and I didn't close it. I was just watching it absentmindedly on the second monitor. And then that comment caught my mind. And then I definitely wasn't closing the chat after that because it was like double the entertainment going on at the same time. It was like I could watch the game while at the same time I was watching them trying to decipher. Like it was very entertaining for me. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to add that in.
Okay.
TMV is like a British sideshow, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's like rage bait, but it's
nothing
harmless rage bait, and that's the most important.
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It's harmless.
Like it's
I
like a
agree.
dumb comment that gets people and gets them mad on the internet, but it doesn't. You're not in the fucking right wing manosphere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
playing with like the homeless guy's entire livelihood by doing something
Yes.
funny.
Yeah, it's not
Yep.
rage bait misogyny. It's
Yeah.
like, I do want to point out though that even though we're talking about the Turkish players and the Turkish EMEA being the Turkish league, the Turkish teams that just won Ascension actually didn't, and even the tier 1 teams like Foot didn't actually do that well. Like it feels a bit more like a rotating when you're talking about.
Once you get to tier 1, you're not as good.
Well, I think it's more like when you have really cracked players, there is still a gap between taking those incredibly good players and being consistent over a long period of time. Like here, Ulf lost to Eternal Fire, BBL and Foot both lost to Team Liquid Academy. It's not like, I don't know,
But we talked about this before though, that in these types of tournaments, like the tier 2 teams have something that they've got something more, to play for than the tier 1 teams. Right, like
yeah,
it's a chance for them to show like, oh, we can beat these teams. We're better.
I mean, at the same time, though, I think
it's just a tournament.
For Ulf or BBL, those are essentially tier 2 teams. They haven't had a chance to play against tier 1 teams in tournaments like this before. So I would extend that. Maybe they don't have the same amount as Eternal Fire because Eternal Fire didn't win Ascension. They're not about to go into tier 1. They're not. They don't have all eyes on them, so it's a great opportunity for them. But certainly, like Ulf and BBL still had an opportunity to bring it to some of the tier 1 teams, and they didn't even get the opportunity because they fell to tier 2 squads instead. So I don't know. It's still going to be very interesting. We also got to see. Go on.
For you were asking about like what's the feeling like? They're like it's like rotating almost, right? Like all the teams taking their turns. Yeah, it's like a chicken rotis, like what they make in the Turkish formas. Like one side's getting heated, the other side cools down, and then all sides you shave it off. One day Ulf eats, the other day like it's Eternal Fire, like it's.
But it's always delicious.
It's always delicious, man. Turkey's always delicious. Yeah.
Okay, I like the analogy. There was a bunch of other tier 1 EMEA teams. Well, what are you eating? Do you have enough to share with the class?
This is my breakfast, okay?
But what are you eating? What is it?
It's kimchi fried rice with an egg on top.
Kimchi fried rice with fried rice with an egg on top. I'll translate for my client.
Thanks.
Yep, thank you. Can you leave? Listen, I'm throwing up a nut. So I can eat in peace.
Do we have any thoughts on the other tier 1 teams that played? Genomates lost to Na'Vi. Na'Vi ended up losing to GIANTX. I already said that Foot and BBL lost to Team Liquid Academy. We'll talk about Vitality later on, but they ended up beating Carmen Corp as well. That was an interesting game too. Did any of these other tier 1 squads that were playing with new rosters catch your eye?
No.
Mr. TMB.
Okay, good. This is really good. Really strong, really good. I mean, I'm more interested in Na'Vi, to be honest with you. So the GIANTX Na'Vi game was, that ended up going to OT on Bind. I still don't know whether Shao actually was calling. I didn't, I'm just doing VOD reviews, so I wasn't like, I don't know, paying attention to all of the analyst tests beforehand and after, so I don't know if they mentioned it. Maybe somebody else picked it up, but yeah, I think it was still a good opportunity though to take a look at the team, and it's not like it's not like Ruxic seems to have slowed down after stage 2. But if we wanted to talk about important teams, go on then, Shayo.
I was gonna mention Mates again, like the way they lost out, and it seems like I didn't get to specifically watch the game. I'm just looking at the VLR pages. The last one was a 12-14. I'm not sure if Mates were on match points to get up to it, but I guess they just couldn't push out all the way to the end. I think they climbed back to make it OT.
Yeah,
but again, Mates in closing.
That doesn't count.
That
doesn't count. You can't be 8-4 down and call it a General Mates.
No,
you're right.
Just a quick point on Na'Vi. Sorry, that you just brought up. Like, if you look at their two games in the last 16, so they beat Gentlemates and lose to Giants. One thing I would say, and I know obviously this whole format creates weird comps and stuff like that. But in their first game, they've got Ruxic playing against Mates, and he's playing Chamber, Waylay, Neon, and going -20. And then in the second game, he's playing against Giants, a game that they lose, but then he's top fragging on his team, playing Astra and Brim. I just hope, don't overthink this, Angel. Angel, if you're out there, don't overthink this. Put Ruxic on smoke.
I assumed that their Haven comp was much more to do with the limitations of what the tournament was offering than anything else, but I don't know. I mean, they did run that double duelist comp on Pearl as well, so it is a bit strange because the value is so much different having Ruxic on smokes. I want to move on to talking about Vitality though, because I think Vitality, to me at least, were the most interesting team of this tournament, even though they didn't end up winning it. They came third. So yeah, first of all, what expectations do you have for a team like this? When they're a super team kind of roster, maybe you could argue about that here or there, but they're expected to be maybe at the very top of EMEA. Where would you expect them to place at the very beginning of a preseason tournament, something like this?
Minimum, losing a best of 5 finals.
So you think they underperformed?
Yes, at a top 3, which is crazy. But if everybody wants to put them in S all the time, I think that's the expectation I'm looking for. In tier list, I actually put this team at an A tier instead of an S tier because like you don't have the core of like what happened last year remaining. It's almost like a brand new roster, and like they were bad before. There's so many what ifs now. It's a god team, but they're not at the S tier in my expectations to win tournaments. I feel like they're still going to lose a little bit until they find that footing, and that's a lesson learned from giving last year's Vitality S tier when we saw what happened. But for this, if we're going to stick on like giving them S tier, I think they have to at minimum at least make the grand finals with a roster like this against tier 2 teams. With the coaching staff they have, they should be able to figure out like the comps for this type of format. You can't blend the format and also like glaze these players. There's just no way. Like they should be able to at least rinse tier 2 rosters. Okay, go for it.
So we're in single elim in a game of Valorant. If you lose both pistols and potentially a bonus, you can lose to anyone on any given day. And if that happens to you, which it kind of did against Eternal Fire, you can lose. And it's okay. Because that's the way this thing works. And I still trust this team. I kind of agree with the overall point that like starting off the start of the season. But I think that that's true with most teams, right? Like I think it's not a shock to me that Giants won this because Giants are the team that didn't make any changes.
But it wasn't a best of 1 though. This is a best of 3 they lost.
Oh yeah, it's a best of 3, but you can still lose. Yeah, but if you lose both pistols in any map and lose a bonus round in any map,
what you're saying is no analysis matters because anyone can just lose pistols.
I'm saying that in a game with a small sample size, like single elim, and in a game where pistols and bonuses matter a lot, and they're somewhat random, then yes, I think you can lose any game, and I wouldn't panic.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I have trust. Have faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith.
We had faith last year, though. And
yeah, but but like our faith last year is built on this kind of like puppy dog excitement, you know, of like look at all these fucking names. Look, I can read. We were showing our reading comprehension. That oh look, I can read these names and I'm excited because I can read. Whereas this year, dude, there is logic there. There is logic.
I feel like a quarter.
The question mark of last year. The question mark of last year was, well, can Safe IGL the team? You know, will that work with all these people coming together? And it didn't. The fundamental question didn't work. So the answer was we got the null answer.
The same question as can Yampi IGL Durka and Kron?
No, that's the thing. It's a different question this year. This year the question is more so can the superstar players still play at the highest level, and can the other players help support them well enough to create a really, really strong team?
I would say
that's my question,
man. That's a crazy question. I mean, I feel like all the weight is on Yampi's shoulders, and I know he's much more capable, and there's an actual structure now for him to be able to hold that weight. Sisyphus has some,
but you see in my question, I'm already setting the floor. They can only go so low because their floor is here, because I have trust in the stability here. Whereas before the vitality floor of last year, the question means that they can do that, fall out. The bottom falls out and it all collapses, which is what happened.
Like a Looney Tunes trapdoor moment.
Like a Looney Tunes trapdoor. Thank you. Like
year,
Sideshow throwing a grenade at a sign. That's what happened to them last year.
They started on. You were talking about the pistol rounds. They did start very badly in a lot of their halves. They only won 40% pistol round win rate across this tournament. And they started off like losing pistol, losing bonus quite a lot. And I think that when I'm watching this team, I think one of the things that I'm noticing is just that like they come in. The comps I think were well prepped. I think the comps looked pretty good. I don't think that the format was necessarily a problem there, but I do think they just looked like a team that hadn't had the most time in the world to refine like exactly how they wanted some of these set rounds to work. Like their execs on split looked a bit wonky, and then they needed the timeouts, and then after the timeout, after they talked to Pal, they got most of their rounds like back again and managed to stabilize a lot of these halves. But they just look like a young team. I think it's a bit harsh to say that they even have to make like grand finals in a preseason tournament like this. I was actually I'm fairly happy with where they finished, to be honest. Third place looked like they had some good ideas. They look like they've got some clear things to improve on as well. Like the spacing between Durka and the next guy in is a bit rough on some of these rounds. Like often, I don't know which round you're about to play here, but sometimes it's like Durka entries and then Yampi's like desperately running in behind and it looks a bit wonky. But otherwise, I'm fairly happy with what Vitality are cooking.
I gotta challenge it, man, because like you guys are putting Vitality with the same expectations as like champs winners, regional winners like PRX. You're putting them up in tier S, like, but at the same time you're giving them like get out of jail free cards when they don't perform S tier. Like
the tournament's a Mickey Mouse tournament.
I know, but if NRG fucked up a Mickey Mouse tournament, if PRX
They did,
were playing,
bro. Hold the phone. NRG did fuck up a Minnie Mouse tournament. They did lose a Red Bull Homeground, and none of us are talking about the world falling down. We're still putting NRG as an
they
S
were
tier
in grand
team.
final, so it was big chilling.
I don't give a fuck.
gives a
I
shit?
don't give a
That's the
fuck.
difference between
You
second
asked
and
me what
third.
the expectation is make the grand finals. In the offseason, you lose the grand finals, that's fine. But at minimum, these S tier teams need to be making the grand finals. And if not, that should be an alarm.
I
That's
don't
why
think
we're
it's
not asking. But that's what you did with NRG. That's why we're not asking questions about NRG, because they made
No.
the grand finals.
No, it's
Host-
not. If NRG bombed out in Red Bull Homeground, you would still be like, oh, well, they probably weren't taking it that seriously. We've just seen them win at champs. Like, the thing with Vitality, the
but
reason why we're
they
giving them
didn't bomb
bail
out. They lost
is...
at third. Like, that's
Exactly.
not a bomb out. So a bomb
So
out,
it's
you
even
can't
better.
You can't use the excuse of they weren't trying and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's clear...
No, they're
problems.
new, motherfucker, they're new. They don't have all of their
So why
stuff
are they
together
an
yet.
S? That's not an S qualification. That's not an S qualification, man.
Brent,
That's
how was
my
your
argument.
breakfast?
I'm gonna
It's
spoon my
really
eyes
good.
out.
It's lovely. It's good. It's lovely.
Let's move on to the next topic.
All right.
I think it's time for premium rage bait. Have we got the nice rage bait all warmed up? Are we all warmed
I didn't
up?
realize that was
You
the
and
objective.
Shai were hot.
Yeah. Well,
Brent, chilling.
That was the objective.
we're gonna
Rage
keep the
baiting?
rage
Mine
bait
isn't
going.
rage bait. Mine's truth.
Okay,
Mine is
well
truth.
mine's true as well. All of ours are true, but I think they'll also be rage bait as well. This next segment.
What do you mean true? Because Kurt
I'm about to speak
Kurt
truth to
messaged
power,
me and just
Brent.
said, "Can you make a presentation on something you've learned this week?"
What?
So I don't. Wait, what did he tell you guys to make?
Okay, hold on.
Wait, what have you guys made?
Wait, what did you guys-
message to everyone?
Oh, right. Hold on.
Oh,
No,
you
just
guys.
let this happen. Let's just go through
Let's just
it.
let it
I'm
happen.
starting.
Okay,
Let's
go
just
for it,
see.
go for
Let's
it.
just see
Go
what's
for it.
going
Let's
on
see
here.
what happens.
So
Okay.
we wanted to present some of the players that have been left out this offseason and pitch them.
I have
fingers
not-
about
I have
and
not
pitch
done that.
them.
I have
I'm
not done that.
getting
I've been,
Let's go.
So
I've
let's
put
go.
in something that.
So
I did
starting
not
with
do
Brett,
that.
starting with TMV, what player are you running your presentation on?
Okay, so I had to think about. Hold on, we'll get to this. I had to think about what was likely to happen in this segment, right? And I was thinking, well, Bren is too busy playing other games. He's not thinking about Valorant. He'll just default back to something that he remembers from the past. He'll think of someone like Tens, right? A player who should be back in VCT. Sideshow, he's lazy. He'll just think of Tens. First player you can think of. Shio's been watching 2021 VODs. Tens will be on his mind. He's gonna pick Tens. So I thought, I need to go somewhere a bit different. I need to think about something general that I truly do believe in. And then it hit me, right? So this is the biggest mystery perhaps of all time, right? Which is, who is Jack the Ripper, right? And this are just pictures of some of the people who are considered suspects for being Jack the Ripper, okay? And this is a big mystery, of course, in history. But the biggest Valorant mystery, of course, is this. Slide, Kurt. This. Paper Rex. But you see, the mystery of Paper Rex is not that they won an international tournament, despite what Sideshow may think. No, Kurt. Enhance the image. There's something in here that we can see. Enhance again, Kurt. Enhance again. That's right. Mind Freak. Kurt,
Okay.
click the button. What happened to Mind Freak? Because here's the thing. When Mind Freak was dropped on Paper X, I bet if I put a gun to every single one of yours head when he was dropped and said, will he be on a roster for 2025 or 2026? You would have all said yes. You all would have said yes. But yet here we are.
Yep.
What happened to Mind Freak? And I'm going to make the case now for Mind Freak. Because, Kurt, click the button. What are some reasons why you might not want to pick Mindfreak? Does he have experience? He's been to 10 bloody internationals. Okay, click the button. Is he a good teammate? He got very emotional when his team that he got removed from won a tournament, and he was helping them with being the assistant coach. How many times?
He's the ass coach.
Well, that's just a common thing in Football Manager to call it the ass man, but I went with ass coach. He was still there supporting his team. How many times have you seen that? A player gets cut from their team and sticks around and is helping them out. Have you ever seen that on another team? No, they're normally popping off on Twitter. Oh, John P's going to share the drama. Mitch's girlfriend is making fucking strats. No, not Mindfreak. He was there, still helping him support. Next one, Kurt. What else you might say? Oh, role issues. I'm sure with the other people you're going to bring up, role issues will be a problem. He plays smokes. Everyone needs smokes. You gotta have some smokes. No role issues here. Or Kurt, another thing you might say is, was he successful? Was he bloody successful? 2 times international runner-up, 5 times international top 4, 2 times Pacific winner. It all begs the question, Kurt. Click the button. What happened to Mindfreak? I rest my case.
Hold on, why did you open with Jack the Ripper?
Because that was a mystery, and
Wait,
this is a mystery.
So you don't have a solution.
No
you don't have a. You don't
The
have
solution is, what the fuck is everyone doing? Team Secret? Brent is saying that they've given up. They have given up Team Secret. There's multiple teams he could go to. What do you fucking mean? Anyone? Everyone needs smokes.
So
He's
Team
a
Secret.
5-time international top 4. How many players can say that?
Don't know. A few?
Oh, a few? If you haven't played for Fnatic or PaperX, fucking no one.
All right. Fair enough then. Yeah, I mean, it's passionate. It's passionate.
Aspas, yeah, Aspas too.
Oh,
Yeah.
here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
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 I'd rather have
DRX
Aspas.
players.
I'd rather have
Come on,
Aspas
DRX.
than Mindfreak.
Aspas is on a team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
These are free
he is.
agents,
No,
yeah.
you're
Mindfreak
right.
isn't on a team. Sign Mindfreak.
true.
The
Yeah.
people are
But
with me.
what
In
did-
fact, I have
are you
another point
saying-
I forgot to put in there. Before you go, Bren, I have another point in there as well. And this is the thing. Sideshow, he can't disagree with me because famously, Sideshow would rather have cut Forsaken than Mindfreak last year. So he clearly believes in Mindfreak. Sideshow,
So would you add Mindfreak back in instead of Forsaken now?
I never said that.
Well, I'm just asking.
I never
'cause you're
said
the
to cut
Mindfreak
Forsaken,
fan.
did I?
I'm just asking.
I'm
You're
not
the Mindfreak
fucking
fan.
stupid.
Would you add Mindfreak back to PaperX?
Well, no, probably not. But
Right, so they're not one of them.
there are
yeah.
there are other teams than PaperX.
No, that's fine.
I
Yeah,
know,
no,
I know that you're only international coded. You only turn up for cast at the internationals, apparently. Oh, and not even that, just the playoffs. I'll just do the playoffs. So you might not watch other teams other than PaperX, but there are other teams.
Okay. Bren, which player?
No,
are
we're
you
not
going...
doing me.
No, Bren, which
We're not-
player?
We're not doing
Bren,
me.
Bren, which player who has been left out of the off season are you going
We're
to
not
pitch?
doing me. We're not doing me.
Bren,
We're not doing me. Because I thought it was we were just sharing stuff that we'd learned. And so I've misunderstood the objective, but I'll go through the PowerPoint anyway. This is the lemon chicken recipe that I learned recently. Kurt, next slide, please. Make dinner in no time with this super quick and easy lemon chicken recipe. Coating chicken breasts in a honey and lemon sauce gives them a delicious, sticky finish. Next slide, please. Ingredients. 4-part bone chicken breast skin on, 1 lemon juiced and zested, clear honey, olive oil, garlic cloves, and dried oregano. But wait. Hold on. Give me one second. Red circle, red arrow? What is that? Zested? Holy shit! Next slide, Kurt! Next slide, Kurt! Holy shit! It's zest! Formerly part of DRX and jobless by the bleed crypto scam. Oh my god! Where did this guy come from? Holy fuck!
He's done
Holy shit! Next slide, Kurt. Next slide. This guy is still looking for team since May. Bro is the Tower of Babel. He speaks how many languages? What? Initiator main, Sentinel main. He's doing it all. Next slide, please, Kurt. Next slide. Look at this shit. Look at these numbers. Look at these clips. Click on them at random. Click on them at random. Whatever you want to put. We're literally panning for gold right now, and we are on the west coast of America in the 1800s. We can pull up anything. We can pull up fucking anything.
The link doesn't work.
Holy moly. Look at the moves. Look at the aim. Look at the clutch. Look at the 1v2 in some of the best events of the year. Look at this guy. He goes crazy.
He's the only one who can fight against Alpha and win against
The only one. The only one who can win against Alpha, yeah. The only one. The only one ever. The only one ever. What is it? What's the next? I forgot the next slide. I don't know what we did. Oh, here's another clip. Look at this. Can you see players do this? Not quite. From this spot right here. Oh my God, Zed.
Still 2v2 somehow. He's gonna be 2v2 after he dies.
This is from a Tarek host. Tarek jump scare. Tarek jump scare. Wait. Dinks. Shock dart. Oh my God, it's cinema. It's cinema. It's absolute cinema. But
there's no way he can
listen,
ace.
there's no way he's gonna ace, right?
I mean, he's in one.
There's no way.
Possible.
There's no
Showing
way.
the clip, so I'm gonna say it's possible.
There's no way.
It'd be a sad 4K clip.
There's no way. Imagine if it was just a 4K and we're just sat here waiting.
Oh, they can't ruin the clip at this point.
No. No, it's not ruined because he might.
Who's he
actually
playing
die.
against that ruined this clip? Foxy. What the fuck are you doing, bro?
Oh,
Oh my God! Yeah, no, that's insane. See, that's insane. Well, everybody clap. Everybody clap. We can go to the next slide. Everybody clap. Everybody clap. Actually, we had one more clip, but I don't know how long it was.
We don't need
4K
to.
versus Navi.
Surely we don't
Do
need
you
to
wanna
watch
watch
another
it?
clip.
Do you want to watch the clip, guys?
Dude, fucking throw it up. Throw it up. Why not? Let's just throw it up, man. Come on. Throw it up. I don't care. We gotta watch the clip.
Kill too.
One last clip. Listen, at the risk of this dragging on, I don't give a fuck. Look at this guy go. He takes the fight. He takes out two of them. He is the entry. His team won't get it done, so he will. The man who stepped up when nobody wants to fucking take a fight, he will take it to you in OT, baby. That's just the player that he was. That's the caliber that we're working with here. That is the type of guy that he is. Now we can go to the next slide. Now we can go to the next slide, because I got more points to make. That's fired me back up watching that. That has fired me back the fuck up. We gotta get to the next slide as soon as you're available within the next 3 to 5 business days. Look at the innovation on Viper. Look at this. Pre-Viper nerf. One of the only motherfuckers picking up the orb and repositioning it. Unbelievable tech for the time. You can't do it these days, but at the time, he was one of the only motherfuckers doing it. And he was setting that trend. He was innovating on Viper, a role that he wasn't even supposed to be playing. But I'm not done yet. There's another one. I'm gonna hit you with the left hook, the right hook, the next slide coming up as well. When Stacks wanted to not IGL, it felt as S. Did he falter? Did he give up? No! He took on the responsibility! A true leader with the IGLing experience. And we're not done yet, because the final cherry on top, the zest on top of my lemon chicken, is picking up zest today with a veteran presence, hungry for a chance and that international event experience. You cannot go wrong.
Oh, wow. I mean, you've sold me. You've sold me completely. You've sold me completely. Dude, he was incredible. Where did he go? Like, actually,
Bleed.
The bleed crypto scam.
Yeah.
But then what happened afterwards? He's just looking for a team afterwards and nobody wants to take a chance on him. He was really, really good. His util was always fabulous. He invented the B-Lurk setup on Split with the Viper as well. Damn.
All
Well,
right.
that's gonna be tough to
convinced.
follow.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough to follow. I'm not gonna lie.
We're fucked.
Oh shit! I was supposed to be going after TMV. I didn't even realize I was. Dude, Bren's just blown my ass out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to go after you, so now you're going to come in with some
Apologies.
weak shit.
I am genuinely coming in with some weak shit. Okay,
What is this?
here's my pitch. Here's my pitch. I'm gonna put myself in the shoes of Team Pacific in EMEA, who don't have a roster fully at the moment. They've only got 3 players rumored, and I'm gonna pitch you a player. Okay, so say hello to Pacific. This is an example team. I don't know who exactly these players are. But this is our mission, our motto. Pacific can build a team that won't finish last in EMEA. Just don't be shit. That's the goal. That's the orienting sphere. Kurt, next slide, please. Meet the team. Meet the team. Here we go. This is Leader, our head coach. They were the former coach at Loud. They didn't do well with Loud. However, had a lot of success in Tier 2 and Game Changers. Reportedly, our team in Pacific, or rather, our team in EMEA called Pacific, has 3 players. Cupid, Ninja, and Seven. Oh, I forgot to add a bio for Cupid. But Ninja...
Bro actually just phoned it in, man. He phoned it in. At the bottom it says company name. It says company name, and what is that, date? What does it say?
Yeah, it says date. It says date. But I wrote...
He didn't do shit.
I wrote...
He didn't do shit.
I wrote the others, though. I wrote the others. Hold on. So we've got Cupid, right? IGL with Ninja, Team Liquid Academy core. So we've got a Smokes, we've got an Initiator, we've got a Flex. What do we need? TMV, I'm going to come to you. Okay, question time. What do you need if you have a Smokes, Initiator, and a Flex?
You might need a duelist.
Or
Sentinel?
Or a player who can play both, perhaps. Here it is. Here's the solution. Next slide, please. The solution is Demon 1. This isn't Demon 1. This is just someone who's a Demon 1 fan. Remember this? Remember this? Chills. He's up on the stage. He's an underdog that became a world champion. Chills. Bat chest. Chills. Yes, we can't sign him because we already have an import, but ignore that. He's Russian. Ignore that. Next slide, please. Why Demon 1? First of all, since always, he's had good aim. He shoots really, really well. Also, he has a fuck you attitude. Kurt, play the clip. You want a guy like this on the team.
Well, was that it? Was that your motivation the whole time? Like the moment you got on this team, you just want to prove everyone wrong?
Oh yeah. Fuck the haters. Respect my fucking name.
Fuck the haters. Respect my fucking name. Now, you want a guy like that because he's also going to be able to sell skins for DRG. He was on a temporary contract and he was selling skins like... Didn't you see him shilling?
Yeah.
And he's going to be dominating in EMEA.
I don't mean to throw a pebble into the path, but he's turning over a new leaf with that.
With what?
The fuck you attitude. He's trying to be quite a... He's been trying to make
You
active
you
efforts
Justin
to be a good
Timberlake.
team.
You're getting ganked to mid-presentation.
You can have a fuck you attitude in the server. You don't need a fuck you attitude in interviews necessarily, but he's always going to have a fuck you attitude in the server. Kurt, next slide, please. Let's move us along. Now I've prepared charts here. I've prepared charts.
How do the percentages on a pie chart add up to over 100%?
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
This is how much we're going to win. Pacific, we're going to win a lot. When we get to playoffs, we're going to win even more. When we get to Masters, we're going to win even more. And when we get to Champs, we're going to win even more than that. And if you look at the skin sales, bro, he's going to be shilling so many skins. EDG skins, they're falling off. Gen.G skins, what? That team's shit now. They're falling off. MIBR, they might sell a few more this year. But Pacific, the growth is unbelievable. The growth is unbelievable.
Surely the growth will be infinite considering they were at 0. Your graph here of previous year is wrong.
I've been inspired by a different graph. But anyway, let's move. Sorry, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. So finally, welcome, Pacific Demon 1. It's a move that makes sense, bro. It's a move that makes sense.
You've already brought up a couple of reasons why it doesn't make sense.
Like what?
Can it happen in the current rules?
No.
Yeah.
But we can kick 7 and we can get Demon 1 in.
That wasn't in the presentation.
Yeah, it was. Wait, hold on. You missed slide 4 where I said, fuck it, we'll get rid of 7.
It must be said in Sideshow's picture of him. He did look fairly old.
Not as old as Leader. Bro, that guy's aged. That guy is aged. Yeah. What do you think?
Oh.
You don't like my AI slop?
Wait, you're being the GM of Pacific. You only signed 4 players.
We're thinking Demon 1 is going to play... Well, actually, I've only signed
duelist.
3 players, actually, because we're going to have to kick 7.
Yeah. I'm
That
liking
was going
it.
to be
I
hard
like the
to
part
follow,
of the skin
but
sales.
Jesus Christ.
I like the skin sale. The graphs were nice. I fuck with the graphs.
It's not very accessible, though, Josh, I will say. It was all in green. What if I couldn't see the color?
It was not all in green. We had
It was
black,
double
we had
green.
yellow. We had
No,
so
the
many
graphs.
different themes in there.
It was all in green. The graphs. I couldn't
Graphs
really
are
tell.
green, so it's hard. If you're green colorblind, then you don't know how many skins
If
you're
you're
gonna win.
green colorblind,
Yeah.
what?
You don't see green.
Red, green colorblind,
No,
you can't see green.
red, green,
like,
colorblind. You can't distinguish between them. It's not like green. You don't have a fucking virtual green screen. You're not seeing through the color green. You're not looking at a fucking field when you're colorblind and just thinking that it's
Don't
the
tell
ender
me what I
portal.
can and can't see. That's crazy. That's my ailment. That's wild.
Do your own presentation.
I did fuck up a little bit on the rules where I thought we could pick any player, and I didn't know it was free agent. So, but I'll do the presentation anyways. If you want,
Wait, what is this?
I'll take you down memory lane for Forsaken, from PRX. Just, I guess I'll quickly sum through it then.
Okay.
We can go to the aura perspective. Just let's go on a trip down memory lane. Look at that transition, by the way. The motherfucking power level of Forsaken, by the way, over 9,000. He's got experience with the fans, all right, in the meet and greets. I was there in Toronto looking at this happen. Experience with the press, answering any question I threw his way, any question Ravrish throws his way. That combination, by the way, that's silly and serious. That's a crazy respect to have. And on our podcast, and podcast-wide, has a 60% mention rate. Now keep all this in mind, all right? That's crazy. Can we go on the casters real quick? That casters bubble.
What the hell?
We are the ultimate glazers when it comes to Forsaken, all right? Completely different attitude when it comes to when he's on screen. Completely different attitude when it comes to him on tier list. If he's playing bad, Forsaken's just playing bad. It's okay. It's the PRX WA. And out of all people to kick off the roster, he attracts Sideshow's bias. Sideshow always talks about this player in specific, and that's a very big accolade to have. Let's get out of this one. Let's go to the next node really quick. And he click on specialty really quick. He's a horizontal TFT mastermind. Now, in TFT, you have many traits, all right? When you go horizontal, you can play a lot of them at the same time. He plays that's vertical. He plays a lot of things like at the same time. Every agent, basically. He's the horizontal TFT mastermind. Now, if you go click again after that, we go to the next node really quickly. We get out of power level. Let's go to stats. Yeah, I mean, from first to even better. He had the best rising delta. We can go to the disclaimer really quick. What's it called? I don't know why the fuck the color grading on his face. Whoever made this fucking thumbnail, what is wrong with you? Let's go past this. I'm sorry I messed the fucking player up. Let's go to the trophy room. Let's go to his trophies. Podium finish. You're talking about top 4, top 3s. He's at 5 of them. Not many players have this accolade either. First at Masters Toronto, second at LA Champ, second Copenhagen. I mean, if you're picking up this player, man, just look at the finishes. Let's go to this MVP real quick. Ran through a city he ain't even from. let's go through. Icon skin. Now, think about his clout. He has the clout of the entire region, right? Emotes, flags. I'm talking about game-centric stuff. If you have other rosters and other games, you can go for Forsaken. He's that clouded. Remember all
Why is
this.
there Fortnite in there?
You could go to Fortnite with Forsaken. You could have Forsaken bundles. You could have Forsaken guns inside the game if you wanted. Maybe he's not that known for like an Asian or something. But finally, we can finally go to. Wait a minute, Mr. Robot. What are you doing here? Shall I wager? You are getting absolutely hacked right now. Hello, my name is Yeehaw Shayo, and I'm here today as Cowboy Wager to show you where you just were. Can one of you 3 analysts tell me? Where were we right now? Was it a road?
Yeah, it was the memory lane.
Okay, think bigger than a road. What's bigger than a road?
Highway.
A highway.
A
Think
freeway.
bigger than a continent. What's bigger than the continent?
Planet.
World?
The world. Kurt, take me. The planet Yay. Now. What happened? Planet Yay? I've always wanted to come to Planet Yay. Thank you, Cowboy Shayo. No problem. Okay. Get to that first slide. Get to that first slide. Remember everything you saw about Forsaken. Every one of you in your mind, back up a little bit. It's the slide before that. Holy shit, we're spoiling. Okay, everything you thought about Forsaken. All 3 of you and everybody in the chat were like, Forsaken is the #1 person I would sign. Think about Yay. His aura, the chakra, hockey, Nen, one for all alchemy. Whatever power level you use, this guy is on top of it. He was on top before, even when he was bleeding, he was saucing that shit down. He's the epitome of opinions. All I need is the gun and ball. I play 2K and I play Call of Duty. He plays Chamber. He doesn't care about your opinion. He's the gun and ball opinion guy. He doesn't care about your game awards. He'll rock in, he'll pop off. Next slide. Next slide. Casters, yay! Amazing call. Don't need the glade. Everything Forsaken had with the bias. Sideshow talked about Yay back in the day. I went to the Plat Chat episode. You guys talked about Yay 24/7. We talked about Yay last week. And fuck horizontal Valorant. He plays vertical Valorant. Needs only one agent. It's meta relevant. He's the pillar of every squad he's on. Look at that. Chamber looks like a pillar in that picture right there. Just pick Chamber. Next slide. Most immover. You thought that was Forsaken's VLR rating delta? That was actually Ye's. I have fooled you. From 24 to 25, he had the number one VLR rating delta improvement, a plus 0.18 out of everyone. And I'm taking this from the Coach Stack Discord as well. I forget who provided this data, but source. It basically said, oh, Kobe fell off and had a bad year. Now he has a good year. Yeah, still Kobe, still the GOAT, still top 5. And he's not the first 4. He's number 1. Show me that. Look at this. At Le Peak Istanbul James mode, 1.3 rating. This guy got knocked out earlier. 254. He was second place.
Down payment.
Second place. You can get him for a 10% APR, 3K down payment. It's the whole thing. I had to add some more stats. The only problem, honestly, would be his coach. And we're not looking at Ted Lasso coming in. If you are a good coach, you can slot in this player even with just vibes. Next slide. He's in the top 5 of all time, and as I said, he's not top 4. On the right is Forsaken's repertoire of podium top 3 finishes.
Okay.
On the left, first Masters Reykjavik, second champs Istanbul 22, second champs Berlin, third Masters. Pay attention to the first of the BFC SME Cup number 2. Look at some of those names right there. Sub Rosa, Tens. Back in the day, these are goats, by the way. You got fucking look at Shanks, Dicey, Gimon is still playing in the business. You got random tier 2 players who's also consistently shitting on to show you consistency as well. Look at Team Zoms, dude. He's got the goats of the old era, rinsing on him first place. Next slide. Not the same finishes as Forsaken. It is the MVP of Reykjavik, and honestly, the MVP of the USA. This guy is someone you heralded more than athletes. More than what's that? Noah Lyles, the running track star. I went back in the Google searches. Back in the day that Ye was winning, he was the most talked about thing on the entire internet. People would Google Ye more than Google. Now, for some of the things, the actual emotion, of Ye, I don't know. I'm not a lyricist or a Google search expert. Sign Ye today. If you got convinced by Forsaken, Ye is an even better pickup, and he's a free agent. He costs less money. Sign Ye.
I'm convinced.
That was.
I'm gonna sign
phenomenal.
Ye and Demon 1 to Pacific. Actually, Ye's gonna be my duelist. Demon 1's gonna be my sentinel.
Again, import issues. What are you doing? What do you
also,
mean?
Shia said he plays vertical Valorant. Just put him on chamber the whole time. You just said to put
Other
him
way
on
around.
duelist.
Other way around. Demon 1's gonna be my duelist.
Okay.
Ye's gonna be my sentinel. I guess. So
Okay.
I did think at some point there that nobody had understood the assignment whatsoever, but you two fucking clutched it out actually. So we had Zest, Ye, Demon 1,
Mine.
and Mind Freak.
Yep.
That's pretty. I mean, we could make a roster just out of those 4. Add another one in. We've got ourselves a free agent team to work with. I think.
Yeah,
it's pretty solid.
Wait,
There's
do
some
tier
good
2
options.
teams? Do tier 2 teams get 2 imports?
Yeah, they do.
Well, we could actually make a roster.
Wait a
Hold
minute.
Yeah.
holy shit.
Wait a minute.
we can make a tier 2 team that makes it to champs.
Who's the 5th? Who do we need as a 5th?
Have to be someone from Americas or Pacific.
Probably Bala. Round it out with Arden, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Doug
I
is the
think that would
coach
be-
now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very possibly. I don't know that they're going to be convinced by those pitches, though.
You don't think?
I'll get hungry for some lemon chicken. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was hungry.
I'll
for
never
the
look at a
chicken.
lemon the same
look
way
good,
after seeing
man.
Zeth's face in it.
It looked good.
It did look really good. It looked really
Why
good.
did Mr. Robot take over?
Oh, well, someone had to hack me, so I thought about the best hacker I know personally on a first name basis, and that's Mr. Robot.
I thought it was Shio Cowboy.
Well, Mr. Robot hacked in Shao Cowboy, and then Shao Cowboy could do his thing. I needed Mr. Robot to get there.
We
So
can take us to Planet Yay.
genuinely, I saw as I was editing the presentation, I went to YouTube Shorts and I just randomly saw Mr. Robot short, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Oh.
All right,
Well,
let's end the episode with that. and go on to our most important segment of the week, which is Wyatt's Weekly Award.
Is it?
That's my Kobe. That's my Kobe.
Mm.
This week, winner of Wyatt's Weekly Award is Petra, who has recently announced her retirement as well after 13 years of playing FPS games, not just Valorant, obviously, but also playing across the game changer scene for a huge amount of time too. Petra's decided to retire. VLR wrote up a really nice article as well. 5 years and 10 trophies later, Petra announces retirement, which I think illustrates just how good of a career Petra's had across, game changers and previous titles as well in CS:GO, winning even more over there than she did in Valorant. So yeah, G2 Gozen gonna have to make a change, but at the same time, sick career and a worthy winner of Wyatt's Weekly Award. I think been a mainstay in the game changer circuit.
13
Quiz
years
question.
is insane.
Quiz question. There is a spot on a map that should, and I call it Petra. Where is it? And if you know Game Changers, if you don't
realize
hate
we were in a
women, if you
fucking call
watch
with the
Game Changers,
Riddler.
you will remember this. You will remember it because it was a legendary play.
Yeah, you would remember it.
Wow. All of
Why
you.
is the Riddler in the call?
All of you hate women.
It's
on Sunset.
all
It's
of
a
you
Sunset
hate
box where she
Yeah,
tucked in like
mid.
3 times. or
Sunset,
something,
right? Sunset.
Ah,
Against
is it the Sunset
MIBR,
box
I
where
want to
they-
say. Was it?
Can't remember who it
Or
was
am I
against,
making
but-
that up?
Can't remember who.
Do you
it was
have the
against, but it
play
was a
on
crazy
hand,
play.
or you just
No,
you're just
not at
saying
all.
that?
I just remember it.
It was a super popular clip from last year, I think.
Yeah, because
wasn't
she
it?
just kept going into the same box and getting kills from it all the time. A little box in mid on Sunset.
Yeah. Iconic, actually. Fucking iconic.
Let's call it Petra from now on. That
Okay.
corner.
Yeah,
You
we've
mean
got
the one that's
Sabrosa,
in
we've
the
got Petra,
bottom
we've got
left?
Ardis.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Bottom
left
left.
box?
From the
Yeah.
attacker's POV, yeah.
From the attacker's POV, bottom left box.
Yeah.
Yep.
The box that you can find a timing to tuck into. That honestly now everybody hard clears. So don't play in that spot unless you're like a chamber or something.
No,
'cause
play
otherwise
there
you're getting-
every time.
You're getting destroyed.
And even when you get
honestly.
killed, keep playing there. Do not adjust your
That's
game.
what Petra did. That's how you get it named after you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't move.
Yep. Also, I think shout out as well with the Wyatt's Weekly Award to Doug, who's also announced his retirement after, I guess, slightly less than 13 years and slightly fewer trophies, but still a career to be proud of, and wish both of them all the best. And on that slightly sad note, but also a nice one to remember the good things that they provided to the community, we'll leave you with episode 245 and see you next week. Actually,
I forgot
next week
something.
is...
Hold on.
Wait, what? What did we forget?
Let Bren go first.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh,
He just
I was
said,
just going to
hold
say,
on.
hold on. I did say hold on, but I didn't actually think of the
We're
sentence I was going
returning
to say
to
when I
the
said
worst
hold on.
podcast of all time.
all
We
right, Josh.
started that way.
What you said hold on real quick.
I was
as well.
mainly saying hold on because
Hold
I was
on.
like, isn't Christmas next week?
Well, yeah, actually, I'm
Yeah.
not sure whether we're doing an episode next week because it will be like New Year's Eve, basically.
Hmm.
But yeah, we'll catch you at some point.
Yes, no, it's
Uh,
roasting
gotta-
on an open fire.
They asked me, Shy Wager, why do you have 2 watches? Well, I got one to tell me the time, and then another to tell you what time it is. Time to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video. Later.